While Zhang Feng was facing Xikong Chuha and Sui Xiao, Yi Futa had similarly encountered enemies that had come from outside the White Tiger territory. They were also two beautiful girls, however, they were far more formidable than Xikong Chuha and Sui Xiao. Clang! The crisp melody of weapon clashing against weapon echoed. A sorry-looking Hao Bingxin skillfully wielded the giant sword in her hand, the silver snow dragon abyss letting out soft cries. Rays of sword light flowed out from the sword tip. A golden qilin lance caught the tip of the enormous sword, toying with the giant sword as if it was as light as a feather. Hao Bingxin was infuriated. She spun, her wide-open long skirt fluttering up. The silver snow dragon abyss easily swung down. The silvery white dragon carved upon the blade leapt out, and a glaring silver light exploded towards the young girl. Dark technique. White dragon leaving sword tip. The latter sidestepped, the golden lance twisting in midair. A golden spear light enveloped the incoming white dragon. No matter how it struggled, the white dragon was shortly dispatched cleanly away. Little sister's martial arts are not bad, as befitting an earthly star for heavenly king. Lu Xiao smiled and said. Hao Bingxin did not show any pride at the praise from the head of martial generals. On the contrary, she became even more grave. How loathsome. How did we bump into you in this place? Truly loathsome. The magnificent star took a deep breath, her left hand clenching her trembling right wrist. In no more than a dozen bouts, Hao Bingxin sensed the might of the strength star. She was practically giving this her all, but this loathsome elder sister so relaxed. This made the earthly star for heavenly king suffer a huge blow. Shower, this is not the time to reminisce with a sister. Ling reminded her from atop the star qilin dragon horse. Xing opened its mouth, and a beam of throw money away recklessly to once again dispel Yi Futa's attack. Bingxin, be careful. Yi Futa said in a low voice. Hao Bingxin sneered, do not be too proud of yourself. As she said this, the petite loli suddenly dragged her giant sword, rushing towards Lu Xiao like a horizontal line. Along the way, a layer of frost formed, and countless snowflakes fell from the little loli's feet. This scene was very beautiful. Earth rank? Lu Xiao smiled and gripped her lance with both hands. Star energy flowed into her lance, and it began to twinkle with light. A sharp howl broke out of Hao Bingxin's soft throat. The instant she leapt, the snow flowing around the magnificent star's body suddenly gathered together, unfolding in front of Lu Xiao like a giant peach blossom of ice and snow. Sword Qi attacked in all directions, and with Hao Bingxin as the center, all of the sword Qi concentrated into a point upon the silver snow dragon abyss and blossomed. The Hao Bingxin in battle was extremely beautiful. She closed her eyes, a dreamy posture as she wielded her weapon. The giant's sword's tip followed the incoming ice and frost and continuously circled towards Lu Xiao. Even Jade qilin was endlessly astonished. The magnificent star's earth rank sword technique. Sleeping frost laying snow battle sword. In the middle of the earth technique sleeping frost laying snow battle sword, the chilling sword tip sealed the opponent's means of counterattack. Lu Xiao could only quickly withdraw and use the lance to defend. And Hao Bingxin's seemingly dreamy technique had practically trapped Lu Xiao in the sword technique, leaving her with no way to break away. The ice-cold sword Qi sliced open several dozen cuts deep enough to show bone into Lu Xiao's body. However, as the head of the martial force generals, Lu Xiao would not sit and wait for death. Having used the 1,000-year tears, Jade qilin's star energy was far more potent than Hao Bingxin's even with her being contracted. The girl laughed, and the golden lance flared as if aflame. The silver light and golden light clashed, giving rise to a scene of indescribable beauty. The frost finally abated. Hao Bingxin opened her eyes, and what entered her view was that vile grin of the elder sister. Ha! Hao Bingxin was startled. Lu Xiao raised her spear and thrust. The little loli raised her giant sword to block, but her arms were as heavy as lead. Before she could do so, she had been skewered by Lu Xiao's lance. From the killing intent on the lance, Hao Bingxin was flung 100 meters away, and the giant sword in her hands thereupon fell to the ground. Lu Xiao stepped forward, her figure flashing by, the lance stabbing at Hao Bingxin once again. The magnificent star was pale in the face. She could only despair and wait for death. When Yifuta saw this, he gave up on Chai Ling and sent his extreme fire flying swords towards Lu Xiao. But as far as Jade Qilin was concerned, flying swords were completely unable to bring her any threat. Lu Junyi, trades blows with me. Yifuta shouted, pouncing towards her. He attacked with a long sword. Lu Xiao's eyelashes rose, completely surprised this man would unexpectedly charge at her. She swept with her lance, catching Yifuta's sword. But this man completely ignored her might as the Jade Qilin, the #1 martial general, surprisingly sticking close to her. 100 flying swords surrounding Yifuta continuously attacked Lu Xiao, coordinating a frightening attack with Yifuta himself that surprisingly was somewhat threatening. Young master, don't! Hao Bingxin shouted in terror. Yifuta ignored her. Battle potential wildly flourished, making Yifuta's attack abnormally fierce. But in Lu Xiao's eyes, this nevertheless amounted to nothing more than brandishing claws and fangs. The young girl easily caught the endless stabs of the 100 flying swords, facing Yifuta's assault with more than enough leeway. The corner of her lips curled, and Lu Xiao suddenly exerted force. Yifuta only felt his eyes become blinded. Then, Lu Xiao's figure vanished from his sight. Yifuta was shocked, and before he could react, he immediately caught sight of what the strongest martial general was. The golden Qilin lance pressed against his throat, immediately disintegrating all of his attacks. If we made any movements, Yifuta had no doubts that this lance would run him through. Elder sister, do not kill Futu. Hao Bingxin staggered over in fright as she ran over. Lu Xiao looked at her, then she looked back to Yifuta. To seek Xiao out for sparring, you have guts. Are you a fool, or do you think yourself clever? To be able to trade blows with the #1 martial general, I can die without any regrets. Yifuta said fearlessly. Lu Xiao smirked. She lowered the golden Qilin lance. This man was actually somewhat similar to Su Xing, however, he was still very much inexperienced with martial arts. When she lowered her lance, Yifuta seized his chance to launch another attack. As the Jade Qilin, head of the martial generals, Yifuta knew of her might. If he could kill her and take her golden Qilin lance, he would inevitably hold an overwhelming advantage in the future star duels. Even if he did not kill her, the experience of exchanging blows was enough to make Yifuta awaken frightening potential from the battle potential innate skill he inherited from Hao Bingxin. Of course, there was another reason. Yifuta saw through Lu Xiao's dignity as a martial general and anticipated she would not finish him. Lu Xiao was not unaware of his plan. Jade Qilin remained calm and unruffled, her face wearing a slight smile as she fought several hundred bouts with Yifuta. Xiao does not have time to play with you, so Xiao will let you know the cruelty of a martial general's star duel. Lu Xiao's grin suddenly turned cold. Yifuta said to himself this was bad. His potential exploded and activated to the limit, but a ray of golden light formed a straight line that stuck into Yifuta's body. It uprooted and flung him away. Futu. Hao Bingxin worriedly ran over. Fortunately, Yifuta had bet correctly on Lu Xiao's dignity as a martial general. Although the injury from this last thrust was very severe, it was not fatal at all, leaving him alive. Let Xiao see to what degree you will grow. Next time, Xiao will not hesitate to take your head. Although Lu Xiao was more impressed with Yifuta's mind of a martial general, she was somewhat displeased that he believed he had exploited her. Many thanks for your distinguished self letting me win. Futu is grateful. Yifuta heaved, having used his true qi to protect his internal organs. Your servant's true name is Hao Bingxin. Next time, your savant will definitely pay you back twofold. The little loli first gave her gratitude for Lu Xiao not killing Yifuta. Then, she returned to her 4 heavenly king language. Of course, these words would only make Lu Xiao's smile wider. Yi Futu and Hao Bingxin were already unable to continue battle, that must be noble star Chai Jin. Then Futu has a word of warning. That Li Taisui is exceptionally powerful, his magic energy unfathomable. Futu urges that you two leave this place as quickly as possible to avoid drawing fire onto yourselves. Yi Futu looked at Chai Ling. Everyone knew that Chai Ling possessed the red ink iron certificate. Originally, he had wanted to kill her and take the red ink iron certificate. What a pity that this noble star was indeed the mistress of the Great Circle Castle. Yi Futu was helpless to even touch her. However, Yi Futu still wished to warn this proud queen at this moment a final time to leave the White Tiger territory. He certainly did not want to let that old man obtain the red ink iron certificate. These words were truly unparalleled in the world. That old man is truly so formidable. Chai Ling stroked Xing, lowering her brow. How does Yang Zijin compare to Xiao? Lu Xiao asked curiously. Elder sister Yang Zijin will not lose to you, big sister. Hao Bingxin seriously replied. With the support of Taisui's boundless star energy, if only you had a contractor, otherwise blue-faced beast's victory is certain. Yi Futu said. Interesting. Lu Xiao thoughtfully said. Just what is that old man's true body? Do you know? Chai Ling asked. She had dispatched people to consult countless records and investigate the White Tiger territory's thunder-type demon beasts. There were no records of such a powerful demon kin ever appearing. Yi Futu shook his head, also uncertain. We must meet this old man. So as to avoid disturbing the idol, this palace feels, Chai Ling covered her slight grin. Xing mewed. Yi Futu looked conflictedly at Lu Xiao and Chai Ling. He used the jade pendant and left the area. Elder sister Xiao, why did you let this man go? This palace sees that his schemes run very deep. You will have nurtured a tiger that invites calamity. Chai Ling turned back and asked. A tiger that invites calamity? Lu Xiao laughed. Is this not the perfect time to leave this to tiger-fighting hero Xiao? Elder sister must let him go because you feel that he and Su Xing are very alike? Chai Ling asked. This Yi Futu is the second person to have ever dared to raise a hand against Xiao. Just on this alone, Xiao let him go. However, there is another point, little sister Chai Ling, that you have nevertheless misinterpreted. Which? He and Su Xing are not alike. This man used the magnificent star to hinder Xiao while he himself went to kill you first of all to take your red ink iron certificate. He is seeking the greatest benefit in the star duels. Afterwards, when he saw that he could not handle you, only when Hao Bingxin was injured did he make a move to stop Xiao and exploit Xiao's sisterly sentiments. To him, his own star general is something to exploit, Lu Xiao said softly. It sounds like that little sister is somewhat sad. Chai Ling muttered. The star duels have always been like this. It is understandable. Chai Ling, you have been misled by your Xing. Lu Xiao smiled. Chai Ling used the golden thread feather fan to conceal her lips, hiding her embarrassment. Let us go right now to see just what medicine this husband has eaten, to surprisingly star duel with Li Taisui. Lu Xiao stared into the distance, already able to see Su Xing and Li Taisui's figured husband. This Xing honestly is a womanizer. Chai Ling thought to herself, then asked, does elder sister also feel that Xing will be unable to best Li Taisui? Even Xiao has no confidence to defeat him. Lu Xiao was calm. Ha! Liked it? Time flows like water. Fire beacon rolling kill. General of Sacred Water Shan Menger and 8-armed Neza Xiang Nongmei crossed blades. The former was of resplendent, flowing light, a killing intent formed like a net, filling the entire space. The latter was a braced spear, its tip scorching and boiling. The flames rolled with thick smoke, filling the skies and earth, covering all sides and pouncing towards Shan Menger all at once. She had no place to hide. The flying shower falling star spear and the 9 songs clinging fire spear traded blows, evenly matched with one another. Shan Menger spun. Her realm far surpassed Xiang Nongmei's, and after first contact with the dark techniques, the girls delicately stepped forward, he blue and white dress flashing light. A blue flower blossomed at her side. It was extremely beautiful, and it was none other than the astral treasure, blue clothes lotus pattern. Her exceedingly white thigh-high boots stepped on the air, creating ripples. The girl passed the fire beacon rolling kill, swinging her spear towards Xiang Nongmei. Xiang Nongmei's realm was slightly lower, but she had the innate skill, pass, that allowed her to launch her heaven, earth, dark, and yellow techniques without any carelessness. After the fire beacon rolling kill, she was already charging her earth rank. The girl showed a triumphant sneer. She bore the attack of Shan Menger's spear thrust. Her arms moved, and her shadow multiplied. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Cold light glittered in the air. A chill tore apart space. For star execution flying daggers dark technique, drilling death breakthrough. Bang! The flying daggers were stopped by Shan Menger's astral treasure blue clothes lotus pattern. Everything was blocked, but at the same time, Shan Menger's astral treasure defense broke apart. At this time, literature star sacred-handed scholar Xiao Qingyan also executed her dark technique. Her brush traced a brush like a serpent. A dragon emerged from under the brush and charged at Xiang Nongmei. Xiang Nongmei used her 100 beast obstruction to block it. The teamwork between you two sisters is not bad. Xiang Nongmei hovered in the air, licking her lips. One hand gripped a spear, the other held a shield, and on her back were several flying daggers. This flying star who received the star energy support of the demon kin was indeed not simple. Just by herself she was able to hold back the 44th and 46th ranked Shan Menger and Xiao Qingyan that placed far above herself. Even the always gentle as water Shan Menger was slightly flustered. However, before the earth rank appeared, the battle was not finished. Shan Menger glimpsed that white tiger demon kin had driven her master Chuha into a dead end. She glanced at Xiao Qingyan, and the literature star tacitly nodded. She knew the situation was very dangerous. Compared to when they faced Lord of Ten Words, although that demonkin's cultivation was shallow, because he had inherited the flying star's innate skill, pass, his abilities could be used continuously, impossible to guard against. Want to quickly kill Nongmei? Xiang Nongmei giggled as she saw through their thinking. Shan Menger grunted and stepped on air. Xiao Qingyan's white hand tapped. 300 middle-grade talismans, fire sparrow talismans, filled the skies, becoming little fire sparrows. They filled the sky and spectacularly bombarded towards Xiang Nongmei. At the center, Xiao Qingyan was holding her life-managing black bamboo wolf brush, drawing a painting at high speed. The wolf brush's purple light glimmered, and like mist, her earth rank indistinctly manifested. Xiang Nongmei's amused smile became a sneer. The star-slashing flying daggers countered. Though the 300 fire sparrows appeared powerful, a middle-grade talisman already posed no threat at all to a star general in the current stage of the star duels, which had already reached the 3 heavenly books. The star-slashing flying daggers flew out with a whoosh. The 4 star flying daggers glimmered. The killing intent of the flying daggers instantly destroyed the 300 fire sparrows without stopping. Although the literature star was not strong, her abilities were far more complicated to deal with than Shan Menger's spearmanship. Looking at this bookish woman, Xiang Nongmei stirred her murderous intent. No longer dealing with Shan Menger, she quickly attacked Xiao Qingyan. Xiao Qingyan quietly endured and waited. Her right hand traced with her brush while her left hand's finger hooked. A high-grade talisman that she personally manufactured, painted dragon-dotted eyes, formed into a dragon's image. The dragon's eyes flashed blinding light, revealing the location of enemies that had escaped. Then, the talisman's dragon shadow suddenly came to life. This type of innate skill that created talismans could not be matched by any of Liangshan continent's countless talisman masters. The Heavenly King Vajra shield blocked. Xiang Nongmei scuttled out from behind the shield. Do you think you can fight the two of us? Shan Menger calmly said. I shall allow you a glimpse of my earth rank. Xiang Nongmei sneered. Another 8-armed Neza Xiang Nongmei appeared from her back. That new flying star stepped to the side, and from behind her emerged another Xiang Nongmei. Then, this one stepped to the side, and another Xiang Nongmei walked out from behind her. In the blink of an eye, 8-armed Neza had become 4, just like her namesake 8-armed. You want to fight 2 against 1, then 4 against 2. The 4 Xiang Nongmei spoke in unison. Even their breathing was in tandem. Their wrists turned, and 8-armed Neza's assassination usage star-slashing flying daggers appeared in their hands, coldly glinting. Xiang Nongmei grinned, welcome and enjoy your servant's earth rank. Descent of 4 symbols. The 4 Xiang Nongmei attacked at the same time. One stalled Shan Menger while the other 3 went off to first kill Xiao Qingyan. The star-slashing flying daggers were like a torrential downpour. Not only this, but the spears of the 4 Xiang Nongmei also stabbed with red light at the same time. The shields in their left hands manifested the overwatch of a Vajra. This descent of 4 symbols was combined the techniques of the 3 weapons spear, flying daggers, and shield into one, splitting into 4 people. It could be said this was an attack of 4 styles in one instant. Even Shan Menger showed a concerned expression. The girl raised her spear and fought back, her offensive like a rolling tide. Xiao Qingyan stepped back, continuously retreating. Her body was already covered in numerous cuts from the flying daggers, dripping with blood, staining her palace dress. The sacred-handed scholar grit her teeth. Blank space exploded with leftover energy, allowing the literature star to finish the last stroke. Earth rank technique. Faint smoke flowing water painting of liveliness. Her brush stroke dotted, and a scroll of light smoke and flowing water unraveled in front of Xiao Qingyan. All of the enemy's attack powers sunk squarely into the scroll. Without any killing intent, the scroll unfurled and wrapped around 2 of the Xiang Nongmei, instantly killing them, but the last one nevertheless approached by rushing as the scroll unfurled. A point of crimson light pierced through Xiao Qingyan's chest. The always quiet woman at this moment made a helpless sigh. As a bookish scholar, to be able to kill me twice, elder sister can die without regrets. The real Xiang Nongmei smiled and said. But her smile instantly vanished. Xiao Qingyan similarly smiled. This smile was beautiful, and as the girl dotted with her brush, a serene light covered Xiang Nongmei. Only then did faint smoke-flowing water painting of liveliness really begin. This is bad, I was fooled. Xiang Nongmei was pale in the face. She grit her teeth and swung her spear in an attempt to send Xiao Qingyan flying, but the girl clung on firmly, not allowing her way. At the same time, killing intent pounced from behind. Shan Menger's shadow was like a white colt, kicking up a white wave. She barreled straight towards Xiang Nongmei. 8-armed Neza grew worried. She used her past innate skill once again, promptly using the yellow rank shield technique, Vajra protective body, but Shan Menger had used her earth rank technique. Water flowing past 1,000 years. Not only did the attack pass by as fast as a steed, the power was not something the yellow technique could block. Shan Menger's white figure pierced through the shield's defenses like a specter. Then, it pierced through Xiang Nongmei and Xiao Qingyan, flowing across 2 girls' limbs like water. Xiang Nongmei finally understood. If this was a one-on-one battle, although Shan Menger's earth rank water flowing past 1,000 years attack that ignored defenses was powerful, dodging with her speed was possible. However, Xiao Qingyan had seized her, making her lose the initiative. This way, Xiang Nongmei had no way to flee. She surprisingly used her own death to trap her. Xiang Nongmei turned her head to see Xiao Qingyan's virginal and tender face, and she suddenly came to an epiphany. Tsang Feng, flee quickly. They are dangerous. The words were caught in her throat. Xiang Nongmei's divine intent faded, and she fell into the star nest. Little sister. Shan Menger turned back to prop up the fallen Xiao Qingyan. Xiao and Chuha, Xiao Qingyan whispered. Shan Menger nodded, the literature star smiled and thereupon fell into the star nest herself. Now it's 5-1. Don't say this is unfair, you are the 5 Kage, after all. Tsang Feng was truly frustrated by the 2 young women in front of him. The difference between them was as wide as heaven and earth. He had originally thought that he could take them easily, but a star master was indeed not as simple as an ordinary star cultivator, not easy to handle. Several times, his spiritual pressure was avoided. The paths the girls escaped along appeared random and chaotic, but they seemed planned. They always just kept Tsang Feng's attention divided. These 2 girls appeared smart. Can they be baiting me? Tsang Feng thought to himself, however, their cultivations were too disparate. Supervoid stage and supercluster late stage was not as simple as being one realm apart, let alone that this was the White Tiger territory. As one of the Grand Demon Kin, there was no reason for him to fear 2 weak girls. Even the most shrewd old demons must follow Yangshan cultivation's deep-rooted cultivation classes, therefore, Tsang Feng immediately dispelled his last misgivings. Let us see if your body techniques are faster than my wind. Tsang Feng thought to himself. He was the wind among the 7 spirit stars, the most adept at speed. There was no reason that he would lose to 2 reckless youngsters. When he thought of this, Tsang Feng formed a hand seal, and a ray of green light flew out. His gentle breeze pouch appeared, and the bag opened. An astral wind stormed out that sucked in trees and the grasses. When the gale blew, Su Yixiao and Xikong Chuha's body techniques immediately stagnated. They used magic weapons at full power to resist the suction of the gentle breeze pouch. Tsang Feng entered the wind. Su Yixiao waved her hand, wielding the exhausted bamboo slats book. A supercluster stage magic weapon dares to appear before me. Tsang Feng disapproved. He pointed, and the 1,000 cuts astral wind bound the exhausted bamboo slats book. He originally thought that he could easily shred apart this magic weapon, but he never imagined that breaking this book would be surprisingly so difficult. The ancient characters of the book manifested, unfolding an odd formation. Surprisingly, it temporarily pacified the 100 chi of storm surrounding Su Yixiao. So this is actually an ancient treasure. Tsang Feng's brows rose. Su Yixiao's left hand moved. 100 fully charged fire sparrow talismans transformed into 100 fire sparrows that launched themselves towards Tsang Feng, but before they could draw near Tsang Feng, he swatted them down. An astral wind roared out from his palm, blowing the burning fire sparrows asunder, turning them into smoke. Die! Tsang Feng's palm released a green light. Go! Su Yixiao and Xikong Chuha chanted at the same time. The yin-yang swords appeared out of thin air, their light multiplying. Suddenly, they shot towards Tsang Feng. Tsang Feng's palm swatted the swords. He felt pain in his palm, his whole body numb, but his cultivation was far above the 2 girls. There was a brief moment of deadlock, but then he slapped away the yin-yang swords. Su Yixiao turned grim. This Tsang Feng was much more formidable than old demon 10 words. Although the latter was supercluster middle stage cultivation, Tsang Feng was a star master. He had received Xiang Nongmei's innate skill, and old demon lord of 10 words could not compare in speed or reactions. If they had already injured their opponent prior, they could egg on his rage, making him show gaps afterwards, then kill him with the heaven-earth shears when he least expected it. But this Tsang Feng's level composure was frightening. There were no gaps in him at all. Long sleeves danced beautifully. Su Yixiao waved her sleeves, and an aroma wafted towards Tsang Feng. Tsang Feng pointed, and a green light appeared. The green light was like a blade, tearing the aromatic sleeve to shreds. Little sister, be careful. Xikong Chuha cried out in worry. The wind drill ground straight for Su Yixiao. Just as Su Yixiao was about to be cut to ribbons, Xikong Chuha barely blocked it, activating a defensive magic weapon. The green light burst, covering the 2 of them in cuts. Still not running? Could it be that you know your jade pendants are not as fast as my astral wind? Tsang Feng smiled, raising his hand. The astral wind was like a blade, making the 2 girls suffer sorry figures. Little sister, you run. I will stall him. Sikong Chuha was somewhat frenetic. This demonkin was correct. His speed was abnormally quick, and their jade pendants were far from purple star grade. They were completely unable to escape. Only by one of them leaving behind to stall him was there a chance to live. Chuha, do not be impulsive. Calm down. Su Yixiao shouted. The lady truly is bold. Zhang Feng is impressed. Zhang Feng could not help but take note of Su Yixiao being so calm even at death's door. Are you hoping your star generals will come rescue you? If you think they can face Xiang Nongmei with a 2 against 1, then you are too naive. Zhang Feng's figure moved, instantly reaching in front of Su Yixiao. Su Yixiao narrowly escaped having her shoulder shattered by Zhang Feng's palm strike. The girl was sent flying, but she danced in midair, her figure swirling about and making Zhang Feng's next attack miss. Cresting wave spry dance, Zhang Feng recognized this escape technique. Yixiao believes in Qingyan. Su Yixiao said with difficulty. That is for the best. Zhang Feng sneered. It was for the best that she waited until he killed her to wake her to reality. Again, his wind attack approached. Do not think of hurting little sister. Sikong Chuha's flying swords attacked. Zhang Feng opened his mouth. A green rainbow burst out from his body. All the vegetation within a range of 1,000 chi was cut to pieces by an invisible sword, carving a gulch into the ground. Tyranny over vegetation. Su Yixiao opened her red lips, spitting blood. Sikong Chuha's flying swords were completely defeated. Zhang Feng is actually very impressed with your courage. What a pity, what a pity. Zhang Feng instantly arrived in front of Su Yixiao. His claw scratched at the girl's head. This attack would kill Su Yixiao without doubt. But just at this moment, Su Yixiao was still as calm as before. This composure made Zhang Feng feel a shiver. Su Yixiao warmly smiled, and a purple star crest suddenly shimmered on her forehead. Like a brush tracing around. Resonance? Zhang Feng was astonished. This is bad, this girl surprisingly renounced putting up any defense against him. Instead, she funneled all of her star energy into her own star general. Zhang Feng suddenly felt Xiang Nongmei fall into the star nest. If a star general fell into the star nest, they fell into the star master's consciousness. There would be a momentary stagnation. This instant normally did not count for much, but precious seconds at a critical moment nevertheless was the difference between life and death. Su Yixiao waited for just this moment. Blood dripped down her slender fingers. She threw out a curse-binding locking star talisman. This talisman was completely black, covered in purple script. Black chains in the surroundings. This talisman was one of 2 supreme-grade talismans the sacred-handed scholar had produced for the star duels. When this talisman activated, a bundle of chains burst out. The light of the stars within shot out, trapping Zhang Feng inside. This supreme-grade talisman did not produce significant injury, but it could make the most top-notch star generals, even heavenly spirits, completely trapped. If they were trapped by the locking star talisman, the star general would lose any chance at resistance and could only sit and wait for death. However, even a star master could use it to trap an opponent's movements. Without powerful abilities, it was difficult to escape from. But Zhang Feng was so shrewd that he immediately sensed danger. Without hesitation, he manifested his true body. A magnificent green bird took form. This demon beast was named Edged Plume, an expert at turning wind into a blade. Zhang Feng screeched. His cultivation had already reached supervoid middle stage, and a powerful wind storm launched from his feathers, instantly ripping the chains apart. But he was too late. Heaven. Earth. Shears. The haggard Su Yixiao and Sikong Chuha finally found the chance they had been waiting for to attack. Though they each were heavily injured, their coordination instead was wielded at the highest level. The girls pointed, and a shocking sound rang everywhere in the world. The heaven-earth shears appeared in front and behind him. Spiritual power that pulled in the world trapped the temporarily weakened Zhang Feng that spared no effort to escape the barrier. Zhang Feng's whole body did not budge, and his expression was aghast. He howled continuously. 2 rays of white and black light rose, twisting towards him from above and below. Zhang Feng could not resist this. Just as he was about to be cleaved by the heaven-earth shears, a scream of despair broke out from his throat, making anyone who heard it feel grief, exceptional sympathy. The heaven-earth shears' power did not lessen, stirring the spiritual power of the world. Zhang Feng turned the winds of the world into his own blades, but the heaven-earth shears nevertheless turned the world's spiritual power into its own. This was a trick several levels more brilliant. The heaven-earth shears instantly twisted back and forth several times, and even a divine immortal was powerless to return to heaven. The Zhang Feng, who had been careful his entire life, establishing cordial relations, never imagined that he would ever fall to this state, to die at the hands of 2 youngsters, and the promise he made back then to Flying Star 8-armed Neza faded into the wind alongside the fragments of his being. He had eternally transformed into dust. With Zhang Feng's death, Xikong Chuha finally breathed a sigh of relief. She looked at the dying Sui Xiao, and she rushed over in a panic. Little sister, little sister, little sister, I am all right. Sui Xiao rose with difficulty. Xikong Chuha hugged Sui Xiao and wept, tears streaming down her overjoyed face. When Zhang Feng was right in front of Sui Xiao a moment ago, Xikong Chuha had truly though Sui Xiao would die. Sui Xiao was somewhat stunned. She warmly smiled and gently patted Xikong Chuha's hand. Chuha, Xiao is fine. Little sister's wounds are so severe, we had better leave for now. This place is best left to the Purple Thunder monster. They had practically exhausted everything to finally kill 1-star master, which dispelled any idea Xikong Chuha had of waiting to take advantage of the situation. The danger of the White Tiger territory was far beyond her imagination. The next time, they probably would not be so lucky. Although Sui Xiao looked regretfully in the direction of Su Xing's heaven-shaking battle, she nevertheless nodded. The star duel between Su Xing and the head of the White Tiger Demon Kin was perhaps far beyond what they could meddle with. Just as the 2 of them prepared to leave, all of a sudden, they heard Shan Menger's terrified scream in the distance. Chuha, quickly flee. What? Xikong Chuha had hardly heard anything when suddenly, the dirt and sand Zhang Feng blue rolled around, and a hazy woman magically appeared behind them. Look out! Sui Xiao changed. A stone sword pierced through Xikong Chuha's chest. Just as it was about to run through Sui Xiao at the same time, strength that Xikong Chuha did not know she had exploded from her palm as she pushed the girl away. Then, with the fastest speed she had mustered in her entire life, she slammed her palm against the stone sword. Her flying swords rose from the ground, forming a sword array. Bang, bang, bang bang, bang, bang. Flying sword and stone sword clashed, producing countless sparks. The expressionless stone woman who had appeared was none other than Xian Lao. The woman was absolutely silent, like a stone mountain. There was no fluctuation in her emotions at all. She slowly walked towards them, her footsteps brimming with an aura that made the 2 girls tremble in despair. Unlike the grace and poise of Zhang Feng, Xian Lao's aura was like a heavy mountain crushing Sui Xiao and Xikong Chuha into suffocation. Little sister, quickly flee. Xikong Chuha looked at Sui Xiao. The girl's expression was both reluctant to part but bade farewell, determined and devoid of any fear. Chuha, don't. Sui Xiao lost her voice. Xikong Chuha slightly smiled and turned to face an opponent she could not possibly win against. Liked it? The stone woman Xian Lao did not bat an eye at Xikong Chuha's heroic sacrifice. The tall woman did not hesitate at all to tap her foot. Yellow dust rolled, scattering about. Xikong Chuha controlled her flying swords to form a heavenly water sword array. Sword light glowed brightly, flowing like a waterfall, cascading onto the yellow dust. Upon contact, the yellow dust released a yellow light. There was a flash, and then it became countless swords of dust. Xikong Chuha was only supercluster late stage. Her flying sword abilities had no way to contend against a supervoid cultivator's power. Under the water light, many of the yellow rays still stabbed forth, cutting open wounds all over Xikong Chuha's body. General of Sacred Water Shan Menger was no longer gentle. Her expression turned furious. She dashed over, but along the way, she was stopped by General of Heavenly Vision Peng Fei. Her golden hair billowed. The woman who was like a divine general was as gentle as water, facing off against the magnificent woman in front of her. The 4-star bright moon without border and the flying shower falling star clashed with brilliant sparks. Spearlight flashed, clashing to and fro. General of Sacred Water Shan Menger activated her innate skill, water creation. The yellow dirt immediately flowed past the knee. In the water, Shan Menger immediately forgot about her previously exhausted energy and her heavy wounds entirely. The girl swiftly wielded her spear, each thrust splattering countless stars like a waterfall, an absolutely beautiful scene. Shan Menger's martial arts far surpassed the General of Heavenly Vision. After exchanging blows 100 times, she had already seized the advantage. Suddenly at this moment, a pair of golden wings sprouted from Peng Fei's shoulders. These wings were like gold, their edges like swords. The wings flapped, sending Peng Fei soaring into the air, away from the range of the water. These wings attacked like weapons. This was Peng Fei's star beast, mallard wings. By relying on the mallard wings, she once again stalled Shan Menger. Shan Menger watched helplessly as Xikong Chuha fell into a deathly situation she could not recover from. How could she bear to sit and watch from the sidelines? The girl shouted, and the water within a range of 100 meters launched over. The girl first retreated, then rushed with her spear. She once again used her earth rank, water flowing past 1,000 years. Peng Fei's martial arts were average, but with her third heavenly eye open, she was more alert than the average person. Although she was shaken by the raging waters, the heavenly eye's quick glance spotted General of Sacred Water Shan Yinggue's earth rank. She did not hesitate to dodge. A cut opened across her chest, grazing by. But Shan Menger's target was not her at all, rather, it was Xian Lao. Beforehand, Xiao knew this was an unavoidable disaster the moment she saw Xian Lao emerge. This enemy was clearly alarmed by Tsang Feng's death and came prepared. Xian Lao felt no emotion. So long as they were an enemy, she would never show mercy. Her first task was to strike Xikong Chuha into her grave. Afterwards, Xikong Chuha relied on her flying swords and her last abilities to stake everything into blocking Xian Lao's attack, but the only question was when she would collapse. Xiao heard Xikong Chuha's words and subconsciously brought out her jade pendant, but she was unable to use it. If she used her jade pendant, Xikong Chuha would be dead without doubt, and they were too far from the purple thunder monster. The purple thunder monster was also entangled with the strongest of the white tiger demonkin. To think of being saved by him was a cripple's dream. The quiet heaven-earth shears on the ground slowly rang, as if they were transmitting Xikong Chuha's words, "Quickly run. Quickly run. Quickly run." According to the rules of the star duels, no one could feel that Xiao fleeing at this time was reprehensible at all. This was a matter of course. The star duels would never live in an eternal ally, but Xiao found she could not follow through with this matter-of-fact way of thinking. When she saw Xikong Sihuha stake everything to buy her time to escape, her body already could not be controlled. "I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. We definitely can make it through this together." Xiao grit her teeth. She caught a glimpse of Shan Menger's surprise attack and immediately fished out an astral stone and softly chanted, "Talisman without true form, activate with Qi." Her last supreme grade talisman, World Lamp Convergence Talisman, activated. This talisman became a wisp of clear Qi, concentrating into a lamp shape. Worldly Qi poured in and out of the vessel's mouth. This was the Convergence Talisman's ability, absorbing the world's pure spiritual power and giving it to the talisman user, temporarily raising their realm. Su Yixiao had astonishingly broken through to Supervoid stage. Once Su Yixiao entered Supervoid stage, her powers suddenly changed. Xikong Chuha and Xian Lao were stunned. Just at this moment, Shan Menga raised her spear and attacked with water flows past 1,000 years. Xian Lao could only step back, saving Xikong Chuha. This was the perfect chance that Su Yixiao had been waiting for. Chuha! Su Yixiao shouted, gathering all of her magic energy into the Heaven-Earth shears. The already spent Heaven-Earth shears recovered their light. Black and white lights intertwined, becoming two rays disappearing into space. Xikong Chuha understood tacitly and formed a hand seal at the same time, moving her divine intent. The girls' teamwork was the peak of perfection. There was no other more perfect steadfast loyalty to be found in the world. It did not lose out to her tacit understanding originally with Xikong Dangnyo. This instant, the Heaven-Earth shears were connected under their minds, far more fierce than usual. The spiritual power in the world thereupon was stirred. As if by invisible chains, Xian Lao immediately sensed her body was trapped, unable to budge. Before she could activate the All Things bracelet, the Heaven-Earth shears even faster speed twisted to Xian Lao. Then, yellow dust rolled, earthly chi spread. Xian Lao's mountain-like, suffocating presence finally vanished. Bright Moon Longevity Palace. White stripe in the waves. Zhang Yuqi sat next to bed of her elder sister's contractor, Xiu, looking worried. The white python next to her sensed its mistress' concern and maintained a vigil. As the one who stayed behind to guard Xiu, Zhang Yuqi was unable to participate in the star duel against Li Taisui. But she knew that even if she did join in, she would not be too useful. She was a water general, an expert in water magic. Going would instead help Li Taisui turn his thunder magic into an even greater threat. Against those unfathomable demon kin, Zhang Yuqi was considerably worried for Su Xing. Just as she thought this, the palace suddenly shook with an earthquake. Zhang Yuqi suddenly stood up and rushed outside. The currently chatting Lianxin and Shi Xiuxiu also sensed the jolt. Somewhere extremely far away, an explosive killing intent came from far away. This killing intent made the entire Bright Moon Longevity Palace shudder. If that man wants to save her, he will first have to face Zijin. Without Lin Chong or Wu Song, he basically has no chance of victory against Zijin at all. Shi Xiuxiu's sharp brows rose. He is indeed too impulsive. You don't understand, young Su. Since young Zijin has used her earth rank, that Han Bing is dead for sure. Zhang Yuqi was full of confidence. Shi Xiuxiu did not understand. Perhaps Li Taisui is a crafty fox and will stall young Su, but no matter what, young Su will put saving Xiu first. White stripe in the waves, your meaning is. Daredevil third brother had vague understanding. The blow that decides victory or defeat is often done when least expected. Zhang Yuqi retracted her smile and leapt onto the Urgent Sea's white spirit python. Young Su, oh, young Su. Yuqi certainly does not want to guard an empty bedchamber alone. Lianxin, I'm leaving elder sister to you to protect. By Langer, let's go. The white spirit python hissed, and its figure flashed like white lightning. When it broke free of the Bright Moon Longevity Palace, it made a beeline towards Kaifeng. Can you talk about how White Stripe in the Waves signed a contract? Shi Xiuxiu turned back and asked. Tang Lianxin nodded. Before Su Yixiao and Xikong Chuha's unparalleled coordination of the Heaven-Earth shears finished off Xian Lao, Su Xing's war against Li Taisui finally found a chance. Blue-faced beast used her earth rank, depleting heaven-shattering earth, to kill Hua Wanyue and Dong Juanqing star beasts, heavily injuring the two girls at the same time, and her blue vast Emperor Saber's worldly killing intent washed over Su Xing. The killing intent flowed, and even Su Xing and Li Taisui's powerful battle could not help but be interrupted. Then, Ansuan summoned the essence-swallowing dragons to suppress Li Taisui's thunder magic. Su Xing immediately changed his battle strategy. Instead, he used the chaotic tail escape to attack Han Bing. Han Bing was currently engaged in a flying sword duel with Xiao Hanyan. 33 Outer Heaven Black Frost Swords and the 72 Outer Void Flying Immortal Swords were both famous ancient sword chants. The two women wielded their sword chants to perfection. Han Bing used her walking on thin ice, while she bided her time for a chance to attack Xiao Hanyan with terrified to the bone. The Ling Yan princess activated the double sword innate skill. The 72 Outer Void Flying Immortal Swords became more than 100 beautiful fairies. The sword spirits danced, a wonderful scene. The evil cleanup knife and the yin-yang bracelet occasionally smashed into each other with blinding sparks. Heaven-shaking thunder Ling Feishue assisted her master. Without the steadfast star's support, Xiao Hanyan was at a disadvantage. As Han Bing fought, she brought up Xiao Hanyan and the Purple Thunder monster's peculiar relationship. To think that the magnificent steadfast star would abandon her own contractor, this was unprecedented. Suddenly, Xiao Hanyan finally seemed to be exhausted when Ling Feishue's dark rank Thunderclap fire rain breached her defenses. Han Bing immediately seized her chance, using walking on thin ice, tapping terrified to the bone against Xiao Hanyan's chest. Your greatest mistake was following the Purple Thunder monster to the White Tiger territory. Powerful energy pierced through Xiao Hanyan's meridians and limbs. Han Bing thought that the Ling Yan princess was undoubtedly dead. But before she finished speaking, she heard Ling Feishue's alarmed shout. Han Bing, look out for the monster. Su Xing's figure sneak attacked her from behind. Just as Han Bing was about to respond, she heard Xiao Hanyan smirk. This princess deliberately let you taste a treat and you are already so conceited? What? Han Bing looked, only to see that the Xiao Hanyan covered in frost had similarly poked a finger into her chest. True Immortal Hall's ultimate technique. True Immortal Finger. Although True Immortal Finger was not as strong as Han Bing's terrified to the bone, it similarly imbued a cultivator's magic energy into one finger. Using the cultivator's own powerful cultivation to display the might of the True Immortal, under this finger, Han Bing's organs were overturned. Han Bing. Su Xing rushed over at this time, his eyes ice-cold. His hand gripped the dragon sparrow Dulong saber and slashed. Watch my earth rank. Ling Feizher shouted, preparing to attack. But just at this moment, a specter drew near. This figure's attack was perfectly coordinated, catching Ling Feishue off guard. A long, frightening blade hacked over her body. Several slashes later, Ling Feishue basically could not resist any longer and resentfully fell into the star nest. And what killed her was not a person or a ghost, but some sort of grotesque monster. This death was too ugly. Ling Feishue complained. Su Xing. When Ling Feishue fell, Han Bing let out a piercing screech. Her white hair released ice and frost. Every inch of her delicate skin seemed to be made of ice, her whole body the color of ice and frost. The surrounding snowstorm intensified. She had astonishingly revealed her true body, Snow Woman. Liked it? Han Bing's eyes were as clear as snow. The beauty of her true body as a Snow Woman was unreal. Seeing that Su Xing's strongest magic weapon was destroyed and that his flying swords were entangled with Li Taisui, Han Bing felt she had no need to fear the current Purple Thunder monster. The only thing she worried about was the lurking Lin Chong. But even if Lin Chong was to emerge from the star nest right now, she could not possibly intrude into this battle at this moment. In this star duel, Han Bing saw her greatest hope to get rid of Su Xing. I must get rid of this man. Liangshan continent had a saying. Hope is the greatest greed. Han Bing used walking on thin ice, transforming the surrounding area into a world of endless ice. The Snow Woman's every step froze the surrounding space with a cold that was not inferior to 10,000-year black ice, making most abilities lose their usefulness. Even Su Xing's Purple Mansion Immortal Thunder and Purple Star transforming chi had been frozen by walking on thin ice. Die. A dense cold followed Han Bing's terrified to the bone. Han Bing saw that she was about to kill Su Xing's hope. On the contrary, Li Taisui had a vague premonition. Zijin, Quickly go stop the monster. The old man said in a low voice. Han Bing was the star master he favored and appreciated the most, otherwise, he would never have given the birth treasure outline to her. The purple thunder monster was very cunning. He absolutely would not impulsively challenge Han Bing's absolute zero. He definitely had a trick up his sleeve. Li Taisui urged on his thunder magic while Yang Zijin drew her saber and teleported. Hey, don't interrupt the love between my man and that woman. The heavily injured Dong Junqing shakily raised her dragon phoenix yin yang spear. The steadfast star showed an evil grin as she faced Li Taisui and Yang Zijin. Dong Junqing slashed with her double spears. The spears unleashed a dragon and a phoenix. Under Dong Junqing's attack, the dragon and phoenix flipped and intertwined, showing their full splendor. Sensing this dragon and phoenix's strong killing intent, Li Taisui and Yang Zijin had no choice but to stop and use each of their abilities to ward off the dragon and phoenix. That dragon and phoenix were far beyond an ordinary star general's trump card. This seemed full of beauty. Heaven Earth Dark Yellow skill. Li Taisui was stunned. The two of them were contrarily repelled. No mistake. This was none other than Dong Junqing and Zhao Hanyan's Heaven Earth Dark Yellow skill top 1 inverted phoenix, a phoenix never dies. The Ghost Cavalry King had ambushed and killed Ling Feishuat. Just as he planned to then kill Han Bing, the woman surprisingly revealed her Snow Woman true body. Even he could not easily approach. Seeing that Su Xing would not surrender, he thought to himself, this man's death would free him. Therefore, he retreated to the side, once again fading into thin air using his supreme ghost body magic. Su Xing and Han Bing would settle this one-on-one. Stepping into Han Bing's Snow Woman zone, she unleashed her ability at full power, trying to freeze Su Xing, but at this time, a pair of beautiful fire wings suddenly sprouted from Su Xing's back. Those wings were as bright as flame, resplendent and flaming. Surprisingly, her black ice zone was unable to freeze it. Upon careful inspection, how were those wings on Su Xing's back? Clearly, they were 12 hovering flying swords. These flying swords were neither iron nor metal. They were forged from magnificent feathers. As a result of their featherly elegance, at first glance, they were like burning feathers. Their arrangement formed wings. Clinging heaven vermilion Jian feathers. Han Bing was shocked. As the coldest snow woman, how could Han Bing be unaware of what fires posed the greatest threat to her? Su Xing surprisingly used this type of ancient divine beast's feathers to forge a flying sword. Han Bing never imagined this. Even in the previous battle, she did not see him summon this kind of flying sword while at a disadvantage facing Li Taisui. If he used the clinging heaven vermilion Jian's clinging fire flying swords against Li Taisui, he would not be so pressed. This man was completely aiming for her. A terrifying and resentful thought crossed Han Bing's mind. Su Xing's ice-cold and resolute eyes proved her guess was correct. The fire element flying swords, vermilion Jian, was simply the bane of the ice element Han Bing, but if he had given the girl time to prepare, then he would have lost the advantage. Su Xing had waited for this moment to catch her off guard, to quickly kill Han Bing and not give her any chance to escape. Han Bing shouted. The 33 black sky star frost swords flew over. Her chest hurt. Zhao Hanyan's true immortal finger just now was showing its effects, making Han Bing's abilities not as strong as before. This damned couple, the icy woman flew into a rage. Vermilion Jian unfurled at Su Xing's sides like wings, melting all of the snow woman's space. Her endless snowstorm, ice and frost basically could not touch Su Xing. Su Xing raised his hand, and the 12 heaven-tearing first intercepted Han Bing's dark frost flying swords. Then, vermilion Jian converged, combining into a long sword. Flames ignited, drawing a long trajectory, easily breaking Han Bing's world of snow. Han Bing had a sense of foreboding. She prepared to escape using the jade pendant, but at that moment she decided to kill Su Xing's hope. She had already lost the chance. This damned man had trapped her. Han Bing could only use her fill power, use her snow woman true body, to make a last stand. A senseless death struggle. Vermilion Jian twisted, and the light of clinging fire gracefully dances, destroying Han Bing's protective abilities. Su Xing followed close behind, the dragon sparrow long saber piercing through Han Bing's body. Han Bing grabbed Su Xing's shoulder, her fingernails digging deep into his flesh. The woman's eyes were full of indignation, her snow-like pupils staring fixedly at Su Xing, burning this man's face into her mind. So loathsome. Almost able to feel her breath, Han Bing spat out 2 words from between clenched teeth. The woman's expression was so beautiful. With a closer look, behind her ice-cold mask was a warmth that was out of this world. Even a person made of stone would find it hard to remain unmoved, right? Su Xing stabbed the blade in further, straight until Han Bing was stuck against Su Xing's chest. The girl's killing intent was plummeting, the snow-white brilliance of her eyes dimming before finally extinguishing forever. She struggled indignantly a few moments longer before Han Bing finally slumped against Su Xing's shoulder, her hands powerlessly drooping. Her body turned into snowflakes, scattering like butterflies. A crimson star fell from the sky. Receiving the power of Ling Feishua's crimson star, Su Xing's face did not have any victorious expression at all. He rushed to Zhao Hanyan to inspect her injuries. The Ling Yan princess somewhat sorely said that this snow woman's death was too eye-catching. She died in your arms. You have made it so neither she nor this princess won. Su Xing smiled and pecked Zhao Hanyan on the forehead. Zhao Hanyan very wearily curled up tightly in Su Xing's embrace. Though terrified to the bone was dispelled with Han Bing's death, she was still powerless to continue battle, but the battle was not over yet. Dong Junqing finished using her Heaven-Earth Dark Yellow. Su Xing saw that she had trouble and was about to rush over to assist when suddenly, on the other end of Kaifeng, 2 crimson stars fell from the sky. Like the 1 crimson star from before, that direction surprisingly had 3 crimson stars fall. Add on Han Bing's starfall, this meant that in just a short time, 4 crimson stars had fallen in the vicinity of Kaifeng. This was extremely rare before the 3 heavenly books. The entire Liangshan continent was suddenly shaken. A moment before Su Xing unleashed the Vermilion Jian, on Su Yixiao's side of things. Relying on Su Yixiao's incomparably resilient battle sense, the 2 girls were poised for a reversal. They united for an absolute counterattack, utilizing the Heaven-Earth shears at their highest level. The Heaven-Earth shears twisted by. Sikong Chuha was about to emotionally rush to and embrace Su Yixiao when yellow light surrounded them, trapping the 2 women. Before Su Yixiao and Sikong Chuha could feel surprise, they were immediately pale in the face. Yellow dust rolled, and earth chi scattered. A tall woman suddenly appeared in front of them, but she was not like before. All of Xian Lao's skin seemed as hard as Vajra jade, a translucent yellow, and on Xian Lao's side was a ghastly wound. This was from the Heaven-Earth shears. Su Yixiao did not dare believe this. Those Heaven-Earth shears had instantly killed a supervoid middle stage just a moment ago. It was impossible for her to surprisingly still be able to stand like that in front of them. The girl hastily formed hand seals, and the Heaven-Earth shears proceeded to attack. Intertwining black and white lights twisted over Xian Lao's body, ravaging her, but her skin merely suffered small cuts. She nevertheless did not die. What demonkin is this? Su Yixiao was shocked. Besides her hardened skin, the Xian Lao who revealed her true body was very different from normal. Her clothes fluttered, as beautiful as a heavenly immortal. She did not bat an eye facing the Heaven-Earth shears, a true stone woman. The Heaven-Earth shears were not at all useless. Even with Xian Lao's innate powerful defensive power, this kind of weapon that could instantly kill a supervoid cultivator still heavily injured her. Xian Lao beckoned with her hand. Yellow light flew out from her wrist. Any more mention of escape was already futile. The All Things bracelet rose, freezing the Heaven-Earth shears in place. Then, Xing Lao used a inscribed circle of confinement, trapping Su Yixiao and Xikong Chuha inside. When the two of them wanted to use their jade pendants, Xing Lao's last ability fired from her brow. Above Su Yixiao and Xikong Chuha, a heavenly eye opened. The heavenly eye opened, and Su Yixiao and Xikong Chuha immediately fell into a world of serenity. Trichiliocosm, dream of golden millet. Xikong Chuha slowly collapsed, a smile on her face. Her eyes held no anger, and her breath ceased. Chuha. Shan Menger painfully wailed, launching a final attack against Xing Lao. Without her contractor's support, although the Sacred Star's spear injured Xing Lao, Peng Fei killed her within seconds. In the end, Su Yixiao seemed to last relatively longer in the dream of golden millet. Her thoughts drifted from the princess who fled the Su kingdom to the tavern at the Vermilion Bird Territory's Five Colors Mountain. The tavern had a very witty couplet that stumped countless literati of the Vermilion Bird Territory. First line, Green Ping Mountain has timely clouds showing sure show. Su Yixiao stopped in her tracks, staring at it with interest for the longest time. Can you counter it? A beautiful voice drifted over. There was an elegant, long-skirted young woman, her face elegant and calm, her eyes carrying a special eagerness. Do you think Yixiao can counter it? Su Yixiao thought and asked back. The girl thought and then nodded. Su Yixiao pondered for a moment and prepared to write her response in the blank space below. The girl handed her a wolf fur brush. The Su Yixiao who grew up in the Su Kingdom Imperial Court felt this wolf fur brush was far superior to every brush in the world. Taking the wolf brush, Su Yixiao's body relaxed. She wrote freely, her calligraphy beautifully composed. This seems to be a couplet pertaining to the star duels. Su Yixiao panted. The girl wiped her sweat for her. Thanks. The young woman's complexion was still calm. She looked at the couplet Su Yixiao wrote. First line, Green Ping Mountain has timely clouds showing sure show. Second line, when cool breeze stronghold reigns, then appears Hua Rong. Nodding, that calm face showed a slightly hopeful radiance. I am literature star sacred-handed scholar Xiao Rang, true name Qing Yan, Su Yixiao, a Su Yixiao who wishes to be an innkeeper. The girls smiled at one another. Immediately, this was a smile that showed they had found themselves. That was the first time Su Yixiao and Xiao Qingyan met. This was a promise she would not betray even in death. She had signed a lifelong contract. Su Yixiao finally closed her eyes in satisfaction. In Liangshan continent's west, there was a glistening yellow prairie. This prairie reached above the knee, with golden yellow grasses, soft as silk. With the slightest breeze, the prairie would release golden light. Even the dark night would be as brilliant as a blank sheet, a stunning scene. The people of Liangshan continent named the continent's 5 wonders according to the 5 elements: wood element, green shoe forest; water element, black ice abyss; fire element, yellow springs cave; earth element, Cash Mountain, and the metal element was named none other than for this place, Ruler Remonstrating Plain. Ruler Remonstrating Plain grew the good speech golden grass. This grass could be made into medicine, maintaining clarity in mind, separating right from wrong. Over a long period of time, the roots of this grass could even ferment and condense a kind of golden jade called good speech golden jade. The artifacts and magic weapons refined from this jade could be used as protection capable of making a cultivator's thoughts clear and reasonable. But the reason this jade was most famous for was because of the star duels. The absolute majority of star generals would use good speech golden jade to forge star weapon upgrade material. The more a star general upgraded their star weapon, the more rare materials would be needed. Other jades simply were impossible to find, so Star General's 5-star was a threshold. But Ruler Remonstrating Plain was boundless. The good speech golden jade deposits were abundant and did not need to worry about this problem. Most star generals would use the good speech golden jade as their 5-star, even up to 7-star, material. Oftentimes, when the star generals reached this stage, cultivators would very rarely venture to the ruler remonstrating plains, so as to avoid meeting with a fiend star and provoking senseless disaster. However, although ruler remonstrating plains' good speech golden jade was plentiful, harvesting it was very difficult. The good speech grass and the earth were closely linked together. Ordinary methods were completely unable to excavate it, and because the good speech golden jade could not be so arbitrarily harvested, to obtain good speech golden jade was not a simple task. At this time, there were 3 young girls searching for good speech golden jade at the ruler remonstrating plains. The leader was jade-armed craftsman Jin Qiongyu riding upon a white jade treasure horse. Its skin was sparkling and clear, its pupils jadeite. Its mane was as bright as a ruby, its tail as wispy as smoke, like Lantian jade. Under the golden light, it released an indistinct luster. At first glance, it was not like a spirit beast, rather, a sculpture carved from every kind of precious stone. Accompanying her were another 2 girls. One was wearing multicolored clothes, shorts, long boots, and a heedless expression, but her conduct was far from that. The other was petite in build, wearing a gorgeous white battle outfit. She appeared tiny, but her expression released a biting cold savage presence which made others unable to help but keep their distance. Their identities were not simple. One was an earthly star 4 heavenly king, Sikyuchi, Sun Yueying, and the other was a heavenly star 5 tiger general, fiery thunderbolt, Qin Mingyue. With 2 powerful martial generals in the ruler remonstrating plains that star generals often visited, there was no need to worry even if they encountered strength star Lu Junyi. So as to give the sisters their star weapon upgrades as the important method to face the purple thunder monster in the future, Jin Qiongyu had already stayed more than half a month at the ruler remonstrating plains. She had the dragon carving hammer and the phoenix engraving nail, so her success in finding good speech golden jade was much higher than anyone else's. But she was recently somewhat gloomy. She discovered that a large hole had been excavated in the ruler remonstrating plains. With her perception of jade, she could clearly sense the fine jade this hole contained. Just who could be so obstructive? Even I could not possibly find good speech golden jade so accurately. Jin Qiongyu muttered to herself, her heart increasingly agitated towards that unknown enemy. Probably they have some magic weapon or spirit beast. Sun Yueying shrugged. I heard there is a monkey that is most adept at finding precious stones. In the past, there was a senior that used it to upgrade her star weapon to very high levels. That white treasure monkey, right? But it cannot possibly dig so efficiently. Jin Qiongyu shook her head. Mingyue tells me this could be an earth spirit beast's work. These traces are surprisingly like hers. Mingyue was the name of Jin Qionyu's star best, priceless jade divine colt. It consumed precious stones as food and was very sensitive of jade. She is? Sun Yueying's brows rose. Beast star Huangfu Duan. As far as Qiongyu knows, she is the best at controlling spirit beasts. If she is controlling this palsy's demon beasts to dig for the jade, that is as easy as flipping her hand. Who cares? If she is an enemy, then Mingyue will crush her. The beast star is extremely weak in martial force, so Qiongyu does not know if she could have lived up until now. Jin Qiongyu was actually very doubtful. Although the 9th star duels had made star generals learn how to last until the 3 heavenly books, the beast star's star weapon was the peculiar, 10,000 beast hibernation flute. It could control all of the world's spirit beasts, a so-called coveted item. Just like how jade-armed craftsman's star weapon could carve jade and stone into sand, if she did not have the backing of an elder sister like Qingxi, she would inevitably die encountering a star master. For support and spiritual energy-type star generals, danger was always magnified. I hope she still lives. Yueying sighed from her heart. Sikyuchi did not want to kill her. If a sister had star-fallen before they had even met, that was too lamentable. Qin Mingyue suddenly shouted, "Got something!" Whoosh! The ground suddenly bulged, and then a demon beast burst out. Where are you running? Seeing the demon beast that had excavated the good speech golden jade, Qin Mingyue barked and straddled her fire jade thunder beast, giving chase with the aggression of raging flames. Let us go look and see just who is being a hindrance. Jin Qiongyu patted her priceless jade divine colt. Sun Yueying indifferently followed along. Strange, has all the good speech golden jade been extracted? Wu Xinjie was very depressed. After receiving the white treasure monkey from Shi Yuan, she had originally thought to borrow this spirit monkey to harvest the entire ruler remonstrating plains, but after staying for 5 or 6 days, the good speech golden jade she harvested that could actually be forged into star weapons amounted to a mere few dozen pieces. As she searched, she found there were already numerous holes previously excavated. It was very clear someone else had done the same before. We do not get to take the stage so easily, but to have such a small harvest, how can we return with this to the others? Wu Xinjie looked at the girl beside her. Hun Yangzi's pupils were like a great sea hiding grief. She softly said, "Elder sister, there is no need to feel guilty. Dear husband will understand, elder sister." The 7th Husanyang star weapon reached 7 star. When the time comes for her to test young lord, we cannot possibly allow these seniors to look down on us. Does elder sister's star weapon not need ascension? Never mind the concealing heaven stars fan. Xinjie is not clear where the 8 gates black gold chains materials are located. That, Bagua sand, is completely unheard of. The 8 gates black gold chain is elder sister's secret star weapon. Compared to Nyangzi's golden wind and jade dew double sabers, it is far stronger. It is unavoidable that its upgrade process is more difficult. A pity that earth rank is too difficult. Xinjie currently has yet to comprehend it. Wu Xinjie was helpless. This was probably what they meant by win some, lose some. Nyangzi gently said, Nyangzi remembers that Mount Dingjun has a Wuho Bagua tomb. Elder sister, why not let us go there and look? First, Xinjie helps you find enough good speech golden jade for your 6-star upgrade. We are still off 15 pieces for the 64 needed. We have 320 liang of Dinu sand. Another 2 days should be it. Young lord has waited a very long time for us. Wu Xinjie smiled sweetly and looked at Hu Nyangzi. Nyangzi must miss young lord very much. As Nyangzi should. Hu Nyangzi said matter-of-factly. Little sister is so outspoken, no wonder young lord loves you so much. Wu Xinjie covered her mouth. Dear husband also loves elder sister very much. Hu Nyangzi said. Wu Xinjie smiled. Not long after, the white treasure monkey jumped onto Wu Xinjie's shoulder from the ground. Now, only 14 left. The knowledge star pointed, and the 8 gates black gold chain manifested. All of a sudden, Hu Nyangzi quickly drew golden wind and jade dew, spinning around. She coldly glared in a certain direction. Elder sister, other sisters are coming. Wu Xinjie's gaze followed. An imposing and violent flame approached, very quickly arriving above them. That beast snarled, spitting flames. Its whole body was covered in red scales and feathers. Its tail was a fire king snake that flicked its tongue. This beast was ill-tempered, and the little lowly riding on top of it was also not too patient. Qin Mingyue. Wu Xinjie recognized this little girl was surprisingly the thunderbolt of the 5 tigers generals. Qin Mingyue resentfully grit her teeth. That day at the Crystal Dragon Palace, being slain by Lin Yingmei was the greatest humiliation of her life. Treating Wu Xinjie as an enemy on sight, she was equal parts furious and envious. Knowledge star resourceful star Wu Yong. Jin Qiongyu also rushed over. When she saw the white treasure monkey, her expression immediately sunk. So it turns out the one who cleaned out the ruler remonstrating plain's good speech golden jade is you. Elder sister truly took to a lot of trouble. Xinjie actually feels that would be you. If it is jade armed craftsman, it is not impossible that you would want to excavate all the jade here. Wu Xinjie chuckled. Has that man abandoned you? Jin Qiongyu did not see Su Xing or Lin Chong, and her heart sighed in relief. She gazed at Wu Xinjie and Hun Yangzi with a not-so-friendly expression. Without Lin Chong, and with just the knowledge star and bright star, she could completely make them suffer a bit of hardship. Without any indication from Jin Qiongyu, Qin Mingyue already impatiently swung the wolf-tooth fire beacon mace, spurring her fire feather thunder beast to crush Wu Xinjie. Little sister, watch this. The fire feather thunder beast worked with her own innate skill Thunderclap Intimidation. Qin Mingyue's swing was very swift and fierce. Little sister has no manners. Wu Xinjie pointed. The 8 gates black gold chain formed a net in midair to catch the club. With a clatter, the 8 gates black gold chain was shattered by the wolf-tooth fire beacon mace. Wu Xinjie hastily withdrew. There was a rumble, shaking Wu Xinjie's balance. A giant hole appeared in the ground. This ruler remonstrating plane was difficult for normal magic weapons to damage, but Qin Mingyue's mace easily broke through. It was obvious how fierce the little loli was. For star-destined weapon. Wu Xinjie took a deep breath. Qin Mingyue shouted. The fire feather thunder beast spat a giant fireball, and she swung the mace to strike. But before she could land the blow, a lasso caught her wrist. Hun Yangzi used the "These feelings are endless" lasso. The little loli was acclaimed as a 5 tigers general, and Thunderclap Intimidation was formidable. With just a flick of her wrist, she sent Hun Yangzi flying. Wisdom Star used light smoke dance steps to delicately land. Mingyue does not want to bully an earthly star little sister. Where is Lin Chong? Qin Mingyue held her 100 Jin heavy ornate mace in one hand, baring her teeth. Hun Yangzi gripped her sabers tightly. Before she could attack, she was shaken by Qin Mingyue's Thunderclap Intimidation just now, leaving her slightly injured. A 5 tigers general was very formidable, as expected. Mingyue, take them down. The purple thunder monster will naturally come. Jin Qiongyu said. Little sister, watch this. Hun Yangzi's double sabers clashed against Qin Mingyue's wolf-tooth fire beacon mace. The little loli swiftly bowled her over with her arrogance. Blood gurgled Hun Yangzi's chest, forcing her away. The yellow rank hate transmission had reached past the wolf-tooth mace to Qin Mingyue's chest. Fiery thunderbolt was also nearly numb with pain. Their exchange was considered equal, but Hun Yangzi had used a yellow rank while Qin Mingyue merely used an ordinary strike. The Qin Mingyue, originally unwilling to fight an earthly star little sister, was irritated. She instantly stirred her resolve. Little sister, watch this. Thunder rolled, booming. Qin Mingyue's mace violently smashed. Each strike shook the ruler remonstrating planes, and holes appeared in the ground, breaking off countless fragments of jade. Several pieces of good speech golden jade were even smashed to smithereens. Hun Yangzi continuously fell back. Her double sabers were completely unable to oppose the little girl's terrifying arm strength. Qin Mingyue barbarically smashed while Hun Yangzi danced away, continuously evading gracefully, but the killing intent from the wolf-tooth mace still endlessly swept over the bright star. Several holes were opened in her water-blue bodice, and her delicate, snow-white skin was cut. Flying star magpie dance. Amidst her continuous dodges, Hun Yangzi saw the openings when Qin Mingyue swung her mace. She suddenly used her dark rank. Her beautiful figure passed through the heat waves like a magpie, and the shockwave from the mace's impact was also easily avoided. In the blink of an eye, Hun Yangzi was behind Qin Mingyue. Her double sabers stabbed directly towards the girl's ribs. Roar! The fire feather thunder beast bellowed. That eyed king snake tail at this time opened its mouth and bit at Hun Yangzi. Hun Yangzi had no choice but to swing her sabers, crossing them to cut down the fire feather thunder beast's fire snake tail, but she lost her chance. Qin Mingyue's speed was not fast, but because she was mounted atop the fire feather thunder beast, she quickly turned around. The little loli raised her club and swung, forcing Hun Yangzi back. Watch this. Qin Mingyue violently swung her mace, using yellow technique fire beacon reaching sky. The wolf-tooth mace unleashed a fire beacon, launching towards Hunyangzi as if it was 10,000 ren. The fire's intensity was great, without any room to dodge. Just as the fire beacon reaching sky was about to reach Hunyangzi, a net of chains intersected at this moment. Layer upon layer obstructed the wolf-tooth fire beacon mace. Nyangzi, quickly get away. Wu Xinjie shouted. Watch this again. Qi Mingyue's qi and blood boiled with spiritual power. Without any thought, her second dark technique, flames swallowing mountain rivers, followed right after. Besides Qi Mingyue's undisciplined fighting technique, she carried an inflated sense of her own abilities. But her execution was nevertheless a display of true power, demonstrating the dominance of a Five Tigers general. This second technique her precisely located the opening for Wu Xinjie and Hunyangzi. The flame-swallowing mountain rivers crashed down, about to destroy the two girls. Wu Xinjie had no choice. She waved the heaven-concealing stars fan. Stars glittered. Earth technique. The stars have moved. The incoming violent flames were blown by the wind, reflecting them. Qi Mingyue was shocked and suffered her own flames-swallowing mountain rivers head-on. There was a loud rumble, and giant plume of fire and smoke exploded in the sky. Qi Mingyue crashed into the ground like a meteor. The little loli grit her teeth, tears in the corner of her eyes. Last time, you killed me. This time, you kill my Kai Yun, Mingyue shall smash you to pieces. Wu Xinjie bitterly smiled. This little loli was honestly too savage, to surprisingly force her to use an earth rank so quickly, and she had only managed to kill the star beast. When the bright moon is here, it shall shine upon a return to the rosy clouds. Xinjie never thought that little sister would choose such an elegant name for a star beast. Wu Xinjie diverted her star energy and glanced at Hunyangzi. Hunyangzi gripped her double sabers, mulling over her murderous aura. This was chosen by elder sister Qingci. She seemed to have said this before. That's not right, who told you this? You killed my Kai Yun. I absolutely will not let you go. Qi Mingyue shouted, Thunderclap intimidation once again booming. Her innate skill's imposing appearance was incomparable. Against star generals, before she even acted, her aggression already seized the advantage. If the enemy's martial arts were not too strong, they would often lose the initiative. Hunyangzi's nimble body techniques were restrained, with no chance to take down the violent elder sister. On the other side, Jin Xiongyu was enthralled by Hua Shui's illusion. Jade-armed craftsman's eyes looked around, yet she did not find sick Yuchi Sun Yueying's figure. What was this elder sister doing? A surprise attack. Qi Mingyue engaged Wu Xinjie and Hunyangzi alone. The fierce star's swift qi flames made the two of them unable to cope. 100 bouts later, Wu Xinjie and Hunyangzi were covered in wounds. Qi Mingyue had been slashed several times by Hunyangzi using light smoke dance steps. Truly boring. You are better off making Lin Ying Mei come. Mingyue does not want to fight you. Qi Mingyue grit her teeth. Wu Xinjie and Hunyangzi endlessly evaded, basically leaving her unable to find a way to vent the surging destructive desires in her body. The latter bright star's wonderful smoke-like body techniques was truly as senseless as punching cotton. Just almost. Wu Xinjie craftily winked. Qi Mingyue was taken aback. Elder sister, do not be deceived. She is using the white treasure monkey to gather golden jade. Jin Xiongyu hurriedly reminded from the side. Qi Mingyue's face turned a thorough red. She flew into a rage. How is this deception? Little sister has smashed the good speech golden jade to the surface. Xinjie is merely collecting some along the way, that is all. Wu Xinjie corrected Jin Xiongyu's wording, however, this honestly was convenient. Qi Mingyue's power was too strong. One strike could smash a hole several dozen meters wide. Although many pieces were shattered, there were still a lot of jade that could be used for forging. You can all go die. Qi Mingyue was truly enraged. She gripped her mace in both hands. The mace's imposing aura froze, and then the surrounding air ceased its flow. Shit! She is about to use her earth rank. Wu Xinjie was astonished. This violent little sister's earth rank was considerably tyrannical. She and Hun Yangzi would suffer if not die. Just as she was about to unleash her earth rank, Qin Mingyue suddenly stopped. The little lowly wrinkled her brow. A snow-kicking ebony piebald whinnied and galloped over. Upon the horse were a man and woman, the woman in front and the man behind. This position is intimate. I will have to try it with young lord later when we return. Wu Xinjie thought to herself. So it turns out to be you all sloppily excavating the jade here. The stern woman on the horse was none other than Prestige Star Double Club's Huyen Shuang. The man naturally was her star master, Xie Chang'an. Go ahead and fight first. This general will spectate. You can fight this general once you win. Huyen Shuang smiled. If she used her earth rank, her power would be too depleted to fight against a heavenly star martial general's star energy. Qin Mingyue was not so stupid to be taken advantage of at that time. Xinjie feels we can star duel again after the 3 heavenly books. For now, we each take what we need. Wu Xinjie giggled. The famous knowledge star surprisingly says we each take what we need. I do not believe you. Huyen Shuang smiled. That must be the bright star. As expected, she is the most beautiful in the 9th. Xie Chang'an could not help admire Hun Yangzi. This purple thunder monster is truly fortunate. Not only do you have the knowledge star giving advice, but you also have the most beautiful star general serving you. Truly you can die without any regrets. Ha, ha. Of course, Chang'an can die without regrets, having Shuang'er. Huyen Shuang slightly smiled. Did the purple thunder monster not come with you? That is not unreasonable. He has so many star generals, he should be very exhausted. Little sister Shuang'er is worried for young lord. I shall thank you in his stead. Wu Xinjie fanned herself and nodded. 3 major powers were present. No one dared make the first move. Jin Qiongyu broke free of Hua Shui. Everyone has been drawn together. I fear that this is not something so simple as fate. Perhaps someone has deliberately added fuel to the fire. Be wary of the fisherman eyeing the snipe and the clam. It would be better for each of us to go our separate ways like this. Wu Xinjie was somewhat vexed. Huyen Shuang and Qin Mingyue were both 5 tiger generals. Neither of them were opponents she and Hun Yangzi could possibly face right now. Sowing dissension was not a bad method, but it was a pity that Qin Mingyue had just gave up on her earth rank a moment ago. Clearly, the violent little sister was very smart and understood clearly the situation. Xie Chang'an glanced at her and suddenly smiled. Knowledge star, how resourceful, how cunning. No one is better than her at being the fisherman who catches both the snipe and clam. Shuang'er, Chang'an has a proposal to have it both ways. Fiery Thunderbolt and the Knowledge Star had a great battle just now. We shall fight against the Knowledge Star now, this way will be balanced. Afterwards, we will fight the Fierce Star, which will also be fair. Chang'an wonders what this Miss Star General thinks about that. This man's mouth was awfully nimble. The situation that Wu Xinjie worried most had come to pass. Mingyue also wants to rest a bit. Qin Mingyue smashed her mace into the ground and sat down. She crossed her arms and adopted a spectator's posture. Jin Xiongyu wrinkled her brow as she looked at Xie Chang'an but did not say anything. Knowledge Star, run. Huyen Shuang dismounted. Her hands produced wind and moon unmatched. The 2 beautiful whips were incomparably dazzling. They were surprisingly 4-star. You should be the ones running. If you kill us, Xinjie and Yangzi will return to the star nest at any time, but you are not the same. Your star master is right here, and you are a 5 tigers general. Think carefully. If it was me, I would not foolishly entrust my back to an enemy. Wu Xinjie said. Well spoken, however, killing you will take no time at all. Huyen Shuang gracefully bowed. If you move, the one who will die is you. Wu Xinjie raised her chin. Hu Shuang smiled. These words honestly sounded like a bluff. Just at this moment, 4 crimson stars fell one after another in the direction of the White Tiger territory. The 4 crimson stars streaked across the blue sky, shaking all who witnessed this. 4 stars fell simultaneously. At this moment, even Qin Mingyue was stunned. Wu Xinjie and Hun Yangzi looked at each other in shock. The direction the 4 stars fell in was none other than where Su Xing was. Could it be something abnormal was happening at that place? They no longer had any mind to face the 2 great 5 tiger generals. Their hearts sunk. 4 stars falling at the same time thoroughly aroused the killing instinct of the star generals present. Hu Shuang shot forward, wanting to end the battle swiftly. But just at this moment, Qin Mingyue drew the wolf-tooth fire beacon mace. She imbued all of her power into her swing. Her powerful arrogance shook the entire ruler remonstrating plains. Countless cracks appeared, the natural spiritual atmosphere vanished, and the world crumbled. Xia Chang'an was astonished, Hu Shuang was infuriated, and Wu Xinjie showed a crafty smile. As expected, Qin Mingyue heard the suggestion in her previous words. She knew that if she killed Xia Chang'an, she could kill Hu Shuang, too. And she currently had no way at all to star duel against both Hu Shuang and her star master. A real star duel would inevitably result in her death, so in that moment when Hu Shuang attacked, Qin Mingyue used her earth rank, Heaven Falls Earth Rens. Xinjie said already, the one who dies will be you. Wu Xinjie smiled. Knowledge Star. White Tiger Territory. Su Xing saw the 4 stars fall, and the atmosphere instantly became very silent. When Li Taisui saw that Han Bing had fallen, he furiously roared, Zijin, kill him. Disappointment flashed across Yang Zijin's face. Ignoring the completely powerless Dong Junqing, she slashed directly towards Su Xing's chest. A beam of golden light abruptly attacked, repelling Yang Zijin. Xinger, you truly are incorrigible. Were you prepared to cause a ruckus in the White Tiger territory this time? A queen's voice serenely drifted over. When he looked over, he saw a Qilin appear. Chai Ling, Lu Xiao. Why have you come? Su Xing asked, flabbergasted. 3 stars fell in that direction. Could it be that you killed them, Jade Qilin? Zhao Hanyan was very surprised the strongest martial general would make an exception and kill a star master before the heavenly books. However, the Ling Yan princess forgot that Lu Xiao had previously dispatched Xiang Qinqing back at the Crystal Dragon Palace with a thrust of her lance. But Xiang Qinqing had manifested his demonkin true body at the time. Strictly speaking, he did not count as a star master, so Lu Xiao occasionally would not be so pedantic. Who knows? Xiao is also perplexed. Xiao had thought Ying Mei or Xiao would have done it, but that does not seem to be the case. Lu Xiao shrugged. Her words made Su Xing increasingly puzzled. Just what star master came to the White Tiger territory? Other people should not have stupidly walked into a trap. The only possibility was the White Tiger 7 spirit stars' other 3 stars. At the moment, he was in no mood to mind this. His battle with Li Taisui had only just truly begun. With Han Bing dead, Su Xing also resolved the worry in his heart. According to what they planned earlier, Su Xing did not want to face Li Taisui at all. He was prepared to kill Han Bing and then leave using the Jade Pendant. As for whatever trick the Liao Emperor wanted to play on Maiden Mountain, there was that Chao Wuhui standing guard anyways, why should he care? But Lu Xiao and Chai Ling's appearance had thoroughly ruined his plan. These 2 girls did not have a jade pendant. How could they flee Li Taisui's wrath? Chai Ling knew what Su Xing was worried about and concealed her smiled, elder sister Xiao, Xinger seems to be underestimating us. Lu Xiao chuckled and grabbed the golden Qilin lance. Today, you will all die here. How could Li Taisui ever allow Su Xing to leave like this? The old man was truly furious. His thunder magic threaded through the heavens above, sweeping in all directions. Yang Zijin's brows rose, and she brandished her vast blue emperor's saber with tooth extraction. Lu Xiao galloped forth, similarly using a yellow technique. The 4-star Qilin lance and the 5-star blue emperor saber crossed. At the instant their killing intents clashed, Yang Zijin's saber slashed horizontally. Lu Xiao loosened her wrist, letting go of the lance. Then, she made a gorgeous spin and caught another section of the spear, sweeping away. The weapons rang with savage merriment. Yang Zijin caught Lu Xiao's counterattack. The woman with a calm face let out a shout. Blue light glowed, and the saber light dispersed. Good martial arts. Lu Xiao praised. As expected, Yang Zijin was worthy of being called the strongest martial general in this generation. Even after using her earth rank, she still had room to fight. Lu Xiao was impressed. But despite this, it was only by facing such a powerful martial general and star master combination could the strength star's strongest battle potential be excited. The two of them traded blows in midair. Rays of saber light and lance light flashed before their eyes. Each collision released powerful killing intent so overwhelming it made others incapable of interfering. Truly irritating. Dong Junqing said. The unable to continue battle Hua Wanhua glanced at her, not saying anything, but there was a slightly helpless feeling in her eyes. She, Dong Junqing, and Yan Yizhen together were unable to take down the blue-faced beast. In addition, they were completely defeated by the Dark Star in the end. Now it appeared that the injured Yang Zijin could still evenly match Lu Xiao. This was the formidable aspect of a contracted star general. As long as they had a star master's star energy, they would not be exhausted. That star general need only fall into the star nest to be able to fight without limit, and to maintain Yang Zijin's first-rate martial general star energy expenditure. Just what level was that demon-kin old man's cultivation? Hua Wanhua could not imagine it. Meanwhile, Li Taisui spotted noble star Chai Ling, and his eyes flashed a sinister glint. The old man's fan moved. A serpent of thunder crashed towards her. The star river Qilin spat out a stream of stars, but Li Taisui formed a hand seal. The thunder magic condensed in midair into a gigantic beast that covered the heavens. Life and death destruction. Li Taisui used 2 abilities in succession against Chai Ling. When Ensuan saw this, she hastily beckoned the essence-swallowing dragons to devour that thunder and lightning, but Li Taisui's fan moved. As if by an invisible force, all of the essence-swallowing dragons were paralyzed in the air. The fan was then tossed, attacking the essence-swallowing dragons like a sharp sword, moving towards Ensuan. The heaven-concealing thunder beast swallowed the star river Qilin. The Qilin was hailed as a holy beast, but in the end, it was merely a true spirit of evil smiting Hall, a far cry from that ferocity of legend. But regardless, it was still the mount of the strength star. The star river Qilin opened its mouth and fired a blinding golden light, fully imposing. A tiny, insignificant Qilin dares be impudent in front of this old man. Li Taisui's tone was full of disdain. His fingers pointed. The thunder beast devoured the Qilin. For the noble star to dare come to die, this old man shall oblige you. Li Taisui snapped his fingers. A world of thunderbolts cut off Chai Ling's escape routes. Not good. Chai Ling's purple star astral treasure moon seizing star taking simultaneously glimmered with the light of stars, protecting its master. Xing then fired a beam of golden light. The Qilin was still struggling with all its might when Li Taisui used a thunder escape magic, instantly appearing in front of her. The old man's apparently frail body was nevertheless as imposing as the 5 sacred mountains. He curled his hand into a claw, completely ignoring the Qilin's august aura and pressed down on the star river Qilin's skull. Instantly, the star river Qilin surprisingly died. Li Taisui immediately turned to seize Chai Ling. The noble star's red ink iron certificate was the strongest astral treasure of the star duels. As long as he could obtain this astral treasure, he could completely make up for the loss of Han Bing. Chai Ling watched helplessly as Li Taisui approached, completely unable to fight back. But the queen was not afraid at all. She maintained her haughty attitude, her mocking grin. This source of this self-confidence very quickly presented itself. Your opponent is me. The fire element Jian Feathers and the metal element Heaven Tearing simultaneously attacked, finally breaking open Li Taisui's lightning barrier. Li Taisui's palm strike extinguished the light of Chai Ling's moon-seizing star-taking. Just as his other palm was about to strike, Su Xing's palm intercepted. Arcs of lightning twisted, and Su Xing used purple star transforming Qi and purple fiend to counter. Li Taisui's divine intent moved. 2 thunder serpents extended out from the space behind him. This old man's magic was honestly immeasurable. Su Xing grabbed Chai Ling and evaded with an escape technique. Xinger, this palace did not misjudge you. Chai Ling whispered into his ear. What are you doing coming here? Don't you know that it's very dangerous since you used the red ink iron certificate at the Crystal Dragon Palace? Su Xing's tone sternly rebuked her. Chai Ling's expression resentfully glared. Her heart was saying, this palace knew that you came to the White Tiger territory and was worried you would stir conflict with the demon kin. This palace specially drew in the strength star beforehand for aid. Seeing as your anger is definitely out of great concern for this palace, never mind. Where are you running? Li Taisui blocked in front of Su Xing. So fast. Su Xing was startled. This old man's thunder escape appeared to be equal to his chaotic tail escape. Li Taisui formed a hand seal, and formed a claw-like thunder. Su Xing's hands clasped together, and purple qi attacked. Thunder and purple qi clashed. Chai Ling extended a pure white finger. Xinger, give him a bit of color. Chai Ling, do you think I would throw this fight? Su Xing was speechless. This palace is speaking to the other Xinger. Chai Ling smiled. Su Xing was speechless. To surprisingly flirt in front of this old man shall send you off to a married couple's death. He urged on his thunder magic, and tens of thousands of thunders surged. Look at this palace's reward, golden 10,000 liang. Chai Ling arrogantly commanded. The three-eyed wealth-inviting beast's whole body glowed with golden light. It opened its mouth, and a blinding gold light flooded the entire area. All Su Xing could see was gold, at least in the hundreds of millions, honestly treating money as if it was dirt. You killed my Liner. Xiao is really mad now. As she fought Yang Zijin, Lu Xiao caught sight of her own star beast surprisingly being destroyed by the old man, leaving her endlessly heartbroken. The Jade Qilin's eyes showed indignation, and she used cavalry breaks apart 1,000 militaries. The golden Qilin lance loosed a blinding attack, overwhelming Yang Zijin with the power of tens of thousands of mounted soldiers. Yang Zijin endlessly brandished the blue emperor saber to block. But the Jade Qilin's dark technique was inherently a technique whose power was in the manner of an entire cavalry unit. Its tyrannical power was such that even the normally top-notch martial generals would fall to a disadvantage, let alone that Yang Zijin had already sustained significant injury. Although she had Li Taisui's star energy support, she could not ignore injuries of this level. Yang Zijin's shoulder, chest, belly, arms, and thighs were stabbed one after the other. Her white robes were already stained blood red, but blue-faced beasts still remained apathetic. Those beast-like eyes gave off a terrifying calm. Her thumb gripped her sword hilt, continuously dodging and evading. To be able to face the dark technique of the number one martial general, to dodge based on pure reactions, this level was shocking. After one dark technique, Yang Zijin was already covered in injuries. Little sister, dare I ask your true name? Lu Xiao's fury was mostly dispelled by Yang Zijin, so she respectfully asked. Zijin. Yang Zijin answered calmly. Zijin, your servant is Jade Qilin Lu Xiao. Next time, let us continue our hearty war. Lu Xiao said. A weak smile flit across Yang Zijin's lips, as if the blue-faced beast was saying. Why not right now? Lu Xiao's pupils shrunk, and her lance thrust. Yang Zijin's instantly drew her saber. Incomparably intense killing intent, in the split second before her sword was unsheathed, rolled over everything within a range of several hundred meters, as if a dragon's claws were ripping at Lu Xiao. Heavenly dragon dancing. Now it was Lu Xiao's turn to focus all of her power into defense. Inside the hurricane of golden saber chi, Lu Xiao shouted. Qilin Fall Skyflash headed straight for Yang Zijin. How could a hearty war finish so dully? Charging the next move of this enormous killing intent, Yang Zijin swung her saber in contest, slashing empty space. Her treasure blade's ageless innate skill allowed the girl to wield terrifying peak state powers even while injured. This was a hearty war. A new yellow technique. Devouring edge. The two massive killing intents met in midair, exploding with a metallic howl. Even from far away, others were shaken, and the two girls at the center could neither advance nor retreat. As the strongest, both of them once again traded blows. The two of them pressed on with forceful moves. At speeds faster than the eye could keep up with, the next 100 blows were traded. Yang Zijin warded off the majority of Lu Xiao's attacks, yet she continued to suffer under Jade Qilin's unpredictable spearmanship. Even her fastest tooth extraction was being suppressed. But the two of them both knew this was merely the calm before a storm. Yang Zijin shifted. She bounded 100 chi, heavily drawing her saber. Tooth extraction. The force of 100 tooth extractions seemed to fall like a torrent. Lu Xiao's lance pierced the heavens. Forging onwards the force of Jade Qilin, the lance's killing intent then rocketed into the sky. Countless Qilin flashes fell. The two of them had surprisingly wielded their yellow rank techniques to such terrifying levels. This stunning beyond compare battle captivated Dong Junqing. How incredible, is this the strength star? Zhao Hanyan muttered. What is even more incredible is that blue-faced beast surprisingly able to face her. Dong Junqing was powerless and indignant. The world finally recovered its calm. The two of them faced each other like opposite mountain peaks. Yang Zijin's white robes fluttered. Her right hand gripped the extreme vast blue emperor saber. Blood rolled down the blade from her fingertips, dripping beside her foot. Lu Xiao's breathing slowly quieted. Her face was flushed, her spear pointing straight. Time, between the two of them, had lost its significance. What do you think of him? Yang Zijin slowly said. From her clear eyes, the fighting figure of Su Xing was reflected. The man who can anger Maiden Mountain. Lu Xiao answered in what could be considered the highest assessment. To be able to make your enemy angry indicated that they were afraid that he could actually overthrow it. Perhaps this was the best solution. Yang Zijin nodded and sheathed her blade. She respectfully and gracefully demonstrated the warrior's etiquette. Manners which Lu Xiao returned. Then, Yang Zijin's figure faded into smoke. Disappearing from here. When Su Xing was on Earth before, he was aware of a particularly famous saying, money will make even the devil turn millstones. However, ever since he came to Liangshan continent, the power of this saying clearly did not match up to cultivation. Although most of Liangshan continent's treasures would be weighed against gold, the fact was that against a top-notch cultivator, even the most vast hoard of wealth offered no protection from being smacked dead. Furthermore, for top-notch items, gold was merely an arrangement. In a cultivator's eyes, gold was no different from dirt. Su Xing also felt like this, but as of this moment, noble star Chai Ling gave a very vivid interpretation of, gold is not all-powerful, but inside the noble star's pockets, it may as well be. Bestow gold 10,000 liang. Bestow gold 100 million liang. Throw money away recklessly. Chai Ling held the three-eyed wealth-inviting beast. She continuously urged the star beast into firing its golden attack. Golden light filled the skies, covering 100 li area with its golden radiance. Countless golden particles scattered. The powerful, golden 10,000 liang, unbelievably drove back Li Taisui's frightening thunder magic. Su Xing was flabbergasted. Using endless gold in this way to create a powerful technique, Su Xing felt his own purple chi was suddenly a bit unpresentable. This palace is not lacking in money, wahahahahahahaha. Chai Ling laughed in delight, and it was no wonder. She, the noble star Little Whirlwind, was someone ranked in the first 10, but because of the red ink iron certificate, she had instead become the laughingstock of all 9 generations of star duels. Although she was known for having wealth equal to that of a nation, she could not possibly join the star duels and was thus no different from dirt in the eyes of other cultivators. Now that she had the three-eyed wealth-inviting beast, the arrogance that Chai Ling had been repressing for so long was flowing out in full force. The three-eyed wealth-inviting beast spat out beam after beam of golden light endlessly, as if it was a river in the heavens. Su Xing could not help but ask her, "Just how much did you feed it?" "This palace specially made Jinji and Yuya stuff Xinger full, probably 1 trillion, Chai Ling said disdainfully. The queen opened her fan, her expression charming. "Xinger, you just watch how this palace helps you face this old man. How about it, compared to your wives, this palace does not fall behind." The queen proudly stuck out her chest. Her towering breast stretched her snow-white bodice tight, showing dazzling capital like the whole person herself. Too impressive. Su Xing shifted his gaze. 1 trillion, he was in a cold sweat. Be careful that you don't celebrate too soon. Su Xing warned her to not be too careless. Yang Zijin is not here, this palace fears only her. Chai Ling disdained this as beneath her. The three-eyed wealth-inviting beast continued to consume money as an attack. Due to its intensity, Su Xing's purple chi and purple mansion immortal thunder were all completely obscured. He was completely without a way to interfere. He may as well not do anything and instead wholeheartedly stand guard against this queen's surroundings. Just let her be complacent then, just monitor her yourself. In contrast to the Li Taisui suppressed by cold, Su Xing was even somewhat sympathetic, who thought that his thunder magic abilities were unsurpassed. He never imagined they would be unable to best 10,000 liang of gold. Money, it really is a good thing. Li Taisui's face was extremely unsightly. Even the very shrewd old man had been slapped in the face by Chai Ling so condescendingly using money. Continuously urging on his thunder magic, astral thunder wildly rolled, but wave after wave of gold washed over them, destroying them in seconds. In actuality, Chai Ling's gold 10,000 liang was not very strong at all. It was merely endless, basically not giving the enemy any chance to breathe. Li Taisui's fingers clawed the air. With the paper fan in his hand, the old man warped and urged on his thunder magic. The golden light continued to pound fiercely, once again smashing the old man back. This palace's conferments are pleasing. Chai Ling covered her mouth and laughed. Li Taisui's tongue split with spring thunder, blasting their ears. The incoming gold 10,000 liang had an opening suddenly blasted into it. Li Taisui's body techniques instantly slipped through. Look out! Su Xing controlled his sword chant. Jian feather and heaven tearing each twisted about, tearing Li Taisui apart. A projection? Not good. Without any thought, Su Xing used the chaotic tail escape, but the next moment, thunderlight and balls of lightning filled an area of 100 meters, completely suppressing his escape technique. Li Taisui appeared behind them, his fan swinging for Chai Ling's head. An enormous meditative mind lotus flower bloomed behind Su Xing, stopping the old man's sneak attack. Su Xing hugged Chai Ling and turned, but Li Taisui's expression shifted. The lightning balls filling the air suddenly plunged straight for Su Xing. "Xinger, be careful." Chai Ling's face turned pale. Thunderfire exploded, smashing against the two of them. Su Xing hugged Chai Ling tight, controlling the 24 flying swords to continuously ward off the incoming thunderballs and lightning and fire serpents that reached 1,000 zhang in length, exploding incessantly in the area around Kaifeng. The spectating Gongsun Huang and the others were gripped by cold sweat. Chai Ling only felt a sense of security in Su Xing's embrace. Though the thundering explosions outside were fierce, this man's chest was like a tranquil refuge, making Chai Ling's mind taste sweetness. Is this the taste of a contractor's star duel? The heart of Chai Ling, who had her first taste of the forbidden fruit, gushed with boundless emotion. Lovely rivers poured from her eyes, and her body grew hot, her secret place moist. She truly wished to eat this man who threw her heart into disarray. Xing was not so flirtatious. Right now, he was grimacing in pain. Several dozen thunderballs had broken through the flying swords, continuously drilling into his back. If it was not for the Akala Wisdom King golden body, he would perhaps have been paralyzed. You old man, you surprisingly dare hurt this palace's man. Chai Ling arrogantly extended her hand. Just at this moment, Yang Ziaijin was slain into the star nest by Lu Xiao. Li Taisui's consciousness stagnated, and the man's face filled with astonishment and distress. Although Yang Zijin had already been killed once by Lin Yingmei back at the Crystal Dragon Palace, that time was about misgivings over the Azure Dragon territory's strength. In truth, she held back. Even if she had been killed, that was no big deal. But this time was the extent of his power. Li Taisui was unable to accept that Yang Zijin had been killed. He was suddenly angry. Chai Ling said, "It is too early for you to be angry. First see how this palace deals with you." The queen pointed her hand, and that purple star astral treasure moon taking star seizing brocade turned into a purple light that became feed for the three-eyed wealth-inviting beast. Chai Ling moaned, sticking her plump breasts against Su Xing's chest. Their peaks teased Su Xing. Su Xing was startled. Chai Ling's astral treasure bodice had already vanished and become food for the three-eyed wealth-inviting beast. Having eaten 2 astral treasures, the wealth-inviting beast's loyalty was roused. It then meowed. A range of 100 li became splendid as far as the eye could see. Everything was dyed a golden color. In this golden world, spiritual power was replaced with the inelegant and mundane scent of money. Li Taisui's powers vanished into thin air. Chai Ling turned behind her, a smirk on her lips. A formless power directly pushed Li Taisui into the ground. In this world stinking of coin, the old man was helpless. Su Xing was dumbstruck. This was none other than noble star Little Whirlwind's top-notch riches and honor. Richest in the world. Xian Lao sat cross-legged, currently self-cultivating. She could sense that Li Taisui had apparently met with some trouble, but the woman's face was expressionless. It was not that she did not want to go help. Rather, she had suffered heavy injuries from Su Xiao and Sikong Chuha's heaven-earth shears. Her mind was willing, but the flesh was weak. However, Xian Lao knew that Li Taisui was very strong, so she was not worried at all. Gazing at the suddenly descended golden world, Xian Lao wrinkled her brow and noticed the entirety of Kaifeng, other than the heavenly sacrifice pagoda of the Liao Emperor, had become gold. Dreams of Yuhuan break romantic affairs, Silver Candle Song becomes a statement of riches. Eastern Wind Tree is Jade Rouge, twin swallows, seen at the time of opening. Outside the city, she suddenly spotted someone approaching. The newcomer was clad in golden armor, majestic and awe-inspiring. Her right hand held a golden pagoda, and her left hand held a pearl of wisdom. The noble star has surprisingly joined the star duels. This is interesting. The woman muttered. Xian Lao's cold expression shifted. Chao Gai. The woman was grave. The heaven-earth shears and the all-things bracelet rose into the air. General of Heavenly Vision Peng Fei was even more wary. Thousand Buddha star Chao Wuhui cast a glance at Xian Lao and nodded in acknowledgement. She then looked to the heaven-earth shears and other magic weapons, saying nothing. Although you are a demon cultivator, this one shall not meddle in your affairs. Chao Wuhui smiled and said. Xian Lao noticed that her own body was completely restricted. Her feet seemed to be nailed in place, unable to budge. Chao Wuhui paid her no mind and directly entered Kaifeng, moving towards the heavenly sacrifice pagoda. Only after Chao Wuhui left was Xian Lao finally able to take a step. Atop the pagoda, light flowed, reaching directly into the 9 firmaments. Yelu Wuxin, just what trick are you playing this time? Were you so resolute last time? Chao Wuhui lifted her head to gaze at the center of the array. Guard dog of Xian Nu, must this king ask your permission for anything? Yelu Wuxin's eyes were closed. The yellow court book moved by itself, page after page flipping by. Endless characters hovered, entering that beam of light. Chao Wuhui was not frustrated. She smiled and said, you suffered crushing defeat already at the Crystal Dragon Palace. It would be better for you to quickly enter this one's pagoda. By the time the star duels finish, this one will hand you over to Xian Nu to deal with. Perhaps she can spare your life. Is this king so easy to deceive? You babble on about Xian Nu, but do you not sacrifice yourself for that empress? This king will not all you all to do as you please. Yelu Wuxin shouted. The yellow court flipped, and an array suddenly enclosed Chao Wuhui. 1,000 pagodas appeared behind Chao Wuhui. The heaven-earth dark yellow 1,000 pagoda rose into the air. Yelu Wuxin immediately raised her great Liao treasure book. The book and pagoda shuddered, revealing every kind of scene. Chao Wuhui was stunned. This is an array for a passage to Star World. The Liao Emperor laughed. The Emperor's eyes flowed with satisfaction. This king shall complete your star duels in this world, ah ha ha ha, ha 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 ha. Su Xing looked at the golden world, feeling more and more incredulous. Xinger. Chai Ling put on clothes and softly spoke. This palace is calling you. Chai Ling was somewhat angry when she noticed Su Xing did not react. I thought you were calling for your cat. Su Xing twitched his lips. How do you feel about this palace? Chai Ling asked. Very extravagant. Su Xing only had 2 words. He had never seen such extravagance, to surprisingly use a purple star-grade astral treasure as feed. Chai Ling charmingly smiled. Inside the realm of richest in the world, with the #1 Marshal General Lu Xiao, and being cherished by this man, was this not the scene the noble star wanted the most to form a contract under? The queen's eyes were unfocused, and her heart had the impulse to sign a contract. I want you. Su Xing was taken aback. Before he could react, suddenly, the world of riches suddenly shook. Layer after layer of gold was peeled away, revealing the original world underneath. Chai Ling turned her gaze. The place Li Taisui was at frothed with spiritual power, blowing away her richest in the world. An enormous power arrogantly descended into this world. Everyone changed. This is bad. That old man has revealed his true body. Su Xing said. An ancient roar ripped open the sky. Chai Ling's richest in the world was already completely broken, and a never-before-seen demon beast appeared in front of them. Everyone had previously made myriad guesses as to just what terrifying form Li Taisui's true body would be, but they were still shocked at the clear sight of his true body. This beast was built like a hill. He was shaped like a hedgehog, with fur and scales, no horns or fangs. His entire body crackled with radiant lightning. He possessed a long tail that was like a sharp blade. A pair of beast eyes were as enormous as bronze bells. A circular area of hair opened upon his back, and his mouth emitting lightning. This was an unimaginably violent posture. At first glance, this felt unreal through that blurry lightning. What manner of demon beast is this? Zhao Hanyan shouted in astonishment. Everyone's eyes widened. They were unable to discern the background of Li Taisui's true body. Impossible, no way, Chai Ling's tone shuddered. Chai Ling, you know. Su Xing promptly asked. Cloud Dream Thunder Pond, Chai Ling did not dare believe it. Cloud Dream Thunder Pond. Su Xing had never heard of this. That he never heard of this was normal. In actuality, very few people would know of the Cloud Dream Thunder Pond's name. To be a bit more precise, the Cloud Dream Thunder Pond was not a demon beast of Liangshan continent at all. This beast originated from the legendary Star World and was known as a Thunder Divine Mount. Its greatest characteristic was that it did not have the terrifying aura of a normal demon beast, but it nevertheless could draw the world's spiritual power together, making the place wherever it was like a dreamland. The reason why Ling knew of the Cloud Dream Thunder Pond was because she had seen it occasionally while she was investigating the prehistoric Liao Emperor. Because it was described as seemingly bestial, seemingly animalistic, consuming the world's qi as sustenance, creating thunder from its body, this left a very deep impression. Of course, the most important point was that the Cloud Dream Thunder Pond was the Liao Emperor's personal mount. No wonder why he's so strong, he's unexpectedly the Liao Emperor's mount transformed. Xing said in disbelief. To make this old man reveal his true body, you will all pay the price today. Taisui said. The old man had been arrogant his whole life. He had never treated any cultivator in Liangshan continent as an opponent, but as of today, he had been suppressed by Xing and Ling's teamwork. However, Taisui using his true body actually was not because he was at an impasse. The old man's subtlety nevertheless was on planning to kill Strength Star Lu Junyi and Noble Star Ling in one fell swoop. Taisui was very clear that the power of the White Tiger's 7 spirit stars was gone. Without Lin Chong or Wu Song, the Purple Thunder monster had surprisingly still managed to push him this far. If they had been here, he could not imagine what would have happened. When he saw the instant that Ling and Lu Xiao appeared, Taisui had the thought that he must take these two girls down. If he killed Strength Star Jade Qilin Lu Junyi and obtained her vast star energy, Qilin, and her innate skill, if he killed Noble Star Little Whirlwind Jin and obtained her Red Ink Iron certificate, he would have no need to fear the Purple Thunder monster in a direct confrontation in the future with these two items. When he was suppressed by the richest in the world, Taisui saw that Ling already had the impulse to sign a contract with the Purple Thunder monster. If the Noble Star signed a contract, the Red Ink Iron certificate would become trash. Furthermore, there would be no meaning in killing her. Because of this, Taisui finally was left with no choice but to manifest his true body. He had to stop them from signing a contract right now. As for whether the Purple Thunder monster used the Jade pendant to flee, Taisui did not care at all. Today is the day you die. The Cloud Dream Thunder Pond abruptly opened its mouth. The lightning over its whole body suddenly burst forth, spreading as far as the eye could see. At this moment, the old man's cultivation had already reached the peak of Supervoid late stage. This emission of spiritual power swelled wildly, blowing all of the girls into disarray. An intense feeling of danger rushed through their hearts. Xing's expression was grave. He immediately controlled his flying swords. The Cloud Dream Thunder Pond moved. Thunder magic flit by, inaudible, invisible. The first to fall was efficacious Star Divine Physician Ansuan. Ansuan had already used the essence swallowing dragons to form an array. The child and mother linked Heart's Needle's star magic was fully charged and waiting. Among the women, she was considered the most safe, but they never imagined the Cloud Dream Thunder Pond's escape magic was so abnormal. In a flash, it was in front of Ansuan. The essence-swallowing dragon sensed the presence of the divine beast from Star World and were surprisingly frozen in place. The Cloud Dream Thunder Pond's eyes flashed with light, and heavenly thunder magic crashed down. Big brother, sisters, run. Ansuan could not withstand this at all and fell into the star nest. Efficacious Star Divine Physician was a variable, and Taisui's first objective was to kill this variable. Hey! Yanizhan brandished her fists, using Swallow Flash Samsara. Her fists were boundless, the double carps swimming, flashing yin and yang. But the spiritual energy surrounding the Cloud Dream Thunder Pond's body was like an invisible wall. No matter how Yanizhan's fists attacked, there was no effect. The old man breathed lightning, destroying Yanizhan. Xing would not allow him to do as he pleased. Worriedly, he arrived with an escape technique. Jian feather and heaven tearing each formed rainbows, twisting one after another. The Cloud Dream Thunder Pawn's eyes flashed with light. Li Taisui had been waiting precisely for this moment when Su Xing left Chai Ling, Cloud Dream Realm, Thunder Magic Doppelganger. Flying swords ground apart the Cloud Dream Thunder Pawn's doppelgangers. The real Thunder Pond was already in front of Chai Ling. Like a hunter waiting for its prey to show a weak point, he pounced. Immemorial Thunder Breath. A soundless breath suddenly attacked Chai Ling, Xinger. Chai Ling's gaze turned to Su Xing, her face ashen. Her star beast had already exhausted all of the gold and was no longer able to continue battle. The soul moon seizing star taking that she had turned into feed for it as well. The immemorial thunder breath instantly left Chai Ling undoubtedly dead. Die! Li Taisui could not help but impulsively shout. But just at the instant he used the thunder breath, a shadow already waiting for this moment directly rushed straight for the Thunder Pond's chest. Black chi pierced through, warping the aura surrounding the Thunder Pond, running through Li Taisui's body. Li Taisui's complexion changed. He opened his mouth, repelling the shadow with his immemorial breath. The Ghost Cavalry King had secretly received Su Xing's orders. He had long been hidden in Chai Ling's surroundings. Li Taisui's planned victory was instead Su Xing's trap. The Ghost Cavalry King's martial arts did not lose out to a star general's, and that Ghost's God's Bane he wielded was comparable to a star weapon. Even so, he was still blasted in the face. This was the first ability aside from Lengyue's clear light that had injured him. His heart was endlessly shocked. He promptly hid away, keeping a distance away. An earthly chi gathered around Chai Ling and shielded her from the incoming thunder breath. The Earth Book had at some point flipped open behind Chai Ling, revealing an absolute true immortal. Su Xing then arrived beside Chai Ling. Chai Ling was still in a panic. Her life had hung by a thread, truly frightening her quite severely. It was reasonable to say that she did not fear death, but she did not know why when that deathly air swept over her, to think she would never see this man again frightened her. Linger, Xiao, be careful. You two are Li Taisui's targets. Su Xing said in a low voice. Chai Ling calmed down with difficulty. When she heard these words, she could not help but be angry. This Xinger had known all along about this old man's plans and deliberately used her as bait to create an opening. To surprisingly exploit this palace, she had originally wanted to hurl a few words of abuse at him, but then she raised her head and saw Su Xing's serious expression. How could Ansuan being killed into the star nest be something he wished for? His going to save little E just now was inevitable. Her heart could not help but solemnly sigh. Xiao will not show mercy. Lu Xiao arrived at Su Xing's side, her eyes focused on Li Taisui, not allowing him to move as he pleased. I'll stall Taisui. You two immediately run to the Longevity Palace. Su Xing ordered at this moment. Li Taisui's true body was honestly too powerful. Compared to the previous overlords, he was considerably more menacing. Without any fancy movements, just his breath was deadly. Su Xing knew that even if they worked together, that would be futile. The top priority was to first allow Chai Ling to lay low at the Longevity Palace. Once she was inside the Longevity Palace, even Li Taisui would be powerless. Chai Ling's heart was somewhat dejected. Her awe-inspiring richest in the world had vanished into thin air. In the end, was she still only a burden upon this man? Actually, would it not be better that you and Chai Ling sign a contract? Zhao Hanyan summoned the 72 outer void flying immortal swords, raising a suggestion. Su Xing had thought of this, but signing a contract required time. At that time, both of them would be very weak. Li Taisui was very swift, like an illusion. The old man revealing his true body showed he was worried that Su Xing would sign a contract with Chai Ling, so he had no choice but to reject this idea. Su Xing glanced at Hua Wanyue, Dong Junqing, and the other girls. All of the girls knowingly nodded. They were already powerless to continue battle. Staying here, they were not Li Taisui's opponents, rather, they were Su Xing's distractions. Ling, let us go for now. Hua Wanyue grabbed Ling. Just at this moment, a golden light descended from Kaifeng. When it landed, a small formation unfolded. Never expected that you were actually this king's mount. Thus, this king shall lend you a hand. The Liao Emperor's voice slowly drifted over. The Cloud Dream Thunder Pawn's eyes glinted. Shockingly, it was a miniature Tai spherical heaven form array. Although it could not trap star generals like the one at the Crystal Dragon Palace, it was still capable of preventing star generals from escaping. Purple Thunder Monster, this old man shall make you regret not bringing Lin Chong along with you. The Thunder Pond opened its mouth. Immemorial thunder breath descended. Although he had been struck by the Ghost Cavalry King's blade, that merely slowed the Thunder Pond. In terms of cultivation, he was still unhindered. He may be without Lin Chong, but Shower is still here. Lu Xiao shouted. The Golden Qilin Lance attacked. Lu Junyi, this old man was waiting for you to come die. Don't be impulsive. Leaving behind Empress Tu to protect Ling and the others, Ling immediately followed. Inside Kaifeng, Yelu Wuxin roared with laughter. Never expected him to actually be this king's mount. This king even thought that it had died. Hard to believe he actually cultivated a human form. Impressive, most impressive. This truly is a pleasant surprise for this king. Chao Gai, will you go save that man, or will you stop this king's ritual? Yelu Wuxin played with a lock of hair, elegantly asking. Her meaning was very clear. The Cloud Dream Thunder Pond was a spirit of Star World. How could these Liangshan continent peasants be capable of facing it? Even if Su Xing was strong, just the few of them were not the Thunder Pond's opponents. If Chao Gai did not save him, Yelu Wuxin only felt this man was inevitably dead. For a time, Thousand Buddha star Chao Wuhui showed hesitance. Yelu Wuxin noticed and carefreely laughed. As expected, you place great value on this man. That this man is capable of contracting so many star generals, this is your work, Chao Gai, is it not? Yelu Wuxin, this one will not meddle in affairs of the star duels. Chao Wuhui coldly said. However, to kill Su Xing is not that easy. Truly heartless. If this is the case, Yelu Wuxin sneered. The yellow court book flipped open. A ray of light shot out from it, and an array unfolded. Chao Wuhui could easily discern this was none other than a small Tai spherical heaven form array. His door out is closed. Now, he can only sit and wait for death. Chao Gai, are you still not going to rescue him? Yelu Wuxin smiled. Chao Wuhui's expression immediately chilled. However, Taisui surprisingly is this king's mount. To hide away this king, this really is unfair. He ought to be punished. Chao Gai, if you go kill him, this king will not oppose. Yelu Wuxin was arrogant. To see Chao Gai was surprisingly so conflicted, she was delighted. Chao Wuhui remained indifferent. If Su Xing is unable to overcome evenly Taisui, then this is his fate. This one can only feel regret for him. Saying this, she struck a hand seal, forming Diana light. The heaven-earth dark yellow thousand pagoda spun, its Buddhist light shined gloriously, attempting to suck Wuxin in. Yelu Wuxin's smile vanished. Her eyes showed a dark expression. As if she had foreseen this, she had a countermeasure. She extended her hand, and 4 rainbow lights fired towards Chao Gai's head. These 4 lights became 4 magic weapons. They were split into the Green Hills Clear Waters ink painting, a gorgeous fan made from the feathers of a peacock, a white and black coiling dragon bottle, and a lantern fashioned in the shape of 9 palaces. When these 4 treasures appeared, the corpses of the 4 great demonic kings inside the pagoda's array simultaneously resonated and moved. These 4 weapons were none other than their strongest magic weapons, mountains and rivers as paintings, peacock dream weaving fan, black and white dragon corpse bottle, and the 9 palaces lantern. Yellow Wuxin killed the 4 great demonic kings to take their strongest magic weapons, turning them into countermeasures for this situation. The mountains and rivers as paintings manifested its scenery to suck Xiao Gai in. The peacock dream-weaving fan waved in the air, and 7-colored light flew out of the fan. These rays appeared magnificent and light as silk, but in actuality, they were extremely heavy. Upon touching Xiao Gai's powers, they stalled it and automatically refined themselves. The black and white dragon corpse bottle emitted a dense corpse qi. This bottle contained the refined souls of 49 dragons, a ferocious corpse qi capable of tainting all kinds of powers. A cultivator would be completely destroyed in mind and body upon contact. Finally, the 9 Palaces lantern hovered above Yellow Wuxin. A golden phantom 9 Palaces magic circle unfolded around her, revealing a 9 Palaces formation. 9 lanterns ignited, forming an impenetrable defense. The 4 great demonic kings' first-rate magic weapons were top-notch works across all of Liangshan continent. If Yellow Wuxin had turned them over to Li Taisui beforehand, Su Xing would have suffered. Xiao Gai was unflustered, attacking with the radiance of Buddhist light. She turned her palm over. A grain of golden sand appeared. This sand sprinkled and Kaifeng City disappeared, turning into a swirling Buddhist kingdom. 1,000 Buddhist monasteries appeared out of thin air, occupying the world and swaying endlessly. Buddhist kingdom in palm. Yellow Wuxin's voice sank. Go! Xiao Gai shouted. Su Xing, Lu Xiao, and Zhao Hanyan worked together to face Li Taisui's true body Cloud Dream Thunder Pond. More than 100 flying swords glowed brightly, displaying a beautiful scene of birds and dragons, and even Zhao Hanyan's outer void flying immortals. 100 of those true immortals danced, their sleeves fluttering, their blades sharp. How could an ordinary person face this kind of scene? But Li Taisui's true body was honestly surly. When he descended worlds, he was no more than supercluster stage. After 1,000 years of cultivation, his magic energy was frightening. The immemorial thunder breath he expelled was far from comparison to any of Liangshan continent's thunder magic and was even unlike Li Taisui's previously powerful thunder magics. These immemorial thunder breaths were formed of spiritual power. Only a true body on the Thunder Pond's level was able to use it. As he breathed, the world was filled with Li Taisui's power, making Su Xing's group unable to move. Zhao Hanyan's face was increasingly unsightly. Several dozen true spirit sword immortals were destroyed in the blink of an eye. Li Taisui was teamed up on by Lu Xiao, Su Xing, and Zhao Hanyan together, but the 3 of them were helpless against the old man. As the Thunder Pond breathed, he attacked with immemorial thunder breath. Watch this. Lu Xiao's lance stabbed. The Thunder Pond's blade-like tail rose high and blocked the golden Qilin lance. A thunder light flashed around Lu Xiao, blasting the Jade Qilin. The Thunder Pond opened its mouth, and thunderlight struck Lu Xiao in the chest, sending Lu Xiao flying. Su Xing activated Instant Frost Flame, but it was completely devoured by the immemorial thunder breath. The old man's powers were incomparably strong, completely suppressing Su Xing's Purple Mansion Immortal Thunder and Instant Frost Flame. Purple Thunder Monster. Cloud Dream Pond's tail swept, its thunderlight like a blade. It completely knocked aside Heaven Tearing, and a bolt of lightning drilled straight for Su Xing's chest. Jian Feather unfolded, protecting him like wings. The ancient divine bird's clinging fire did not lose out to the Thunder Pond's immemorial thunder. Clinging fire and divine thunder detonated midway. Li Taisui had no interest in wasting time on Su Xing. His body warped. His speed was extremely fast, and he attacked Chai Ling Empress' 2-wielded dense earth qi. A screen of yellow light enveloped them, melting away the all of the divine thunder. Do not be too arrogant. Lu Xiao's golden Qilin lance stabbed. 100 rays of killing intent attacked. Killing intent fell on Li Taisui's body, yet it did not bring him any significant injury. Li Taisui flashed away again. A thunderstorm then fell on Lu Xiao's head, which the strength star blocked with her lance. Lightning sliced at the girl's slender waist like a blade. Bang, bang, bang. En route, it was destroyed by Sword Spirit True Immortals. Heavenly Immortal East approaches Sword Array. Zhao Hanyan used everything she had, forcefully using a sword array she had yet to fully develop. The remaining 60 Outer Void Flying Immortals swords turned into 60 True Immortals. They surrounding Li Taisui and then vanished. Before he could ponder what happened, rays of sword light fell from the sky, passing by like millions of shooting stars. Li Taisui took everything. Impossible. Zhao Hanyan panted. The Heavenly Immortal East approaches sword array was surprisingly ineffective. Last time, this old man did not kill you. This time, you have doomed yourself. Li Taisui shook. His scales and feathers stood on end. Suddenly 10,000 thunderlights shot out at the same time. Zhao Hanyan's flying swords blocked a few before being defeated. Su Xing protected her in the nick of time, using Purple Fiend Lotus Flower to finally block it. Qilin Fall Sky Flash. A flash of light fell from the lance towards Li Taisui. It struck his body, but it merely caused a small splash. This bastard is so strong. Lu Xiao was angered. Lu Xiao, calm down. Su Xing warned. The Thunder Pawn's eyes released light. 2 Thunderlight dragons cut lines in the air, flying swiftly. Su Xing's hands spread open, forming a double defense of Vajra protective body and the meditative mind lotus flower. Boom! Bang, bang, bang. A burst of intense explosions erupted in the air once more, spiritual power scattering in all directions. Flames fell. Su Xing's surroundings were entirely filled with scorching thunder. These thunders vanished like smoke the moment they emerged. At the same time, they devoured spiritual energy completely and fed it back to the Thunder Pond. By doing so, it seemed never-ending. This old man's true body was simply unequaled. Cloud Dream Realm, samsara in this life. The Thunder Pond opened its mouth, swallowing the world's spiritual power. An enormous vortex of thunderlight suddenly opened and then fell. Meanwhile, Dong Junqing, Hua Wanyue, Gongsun Huang, and Yan Yizhen could only watch from the sidelines. The previous battle left them depleted of star energy. Now, even if they recovered a bit, they would be of no help at all. They could only raise their guard, try as hard as they could to not allow Ansuan's tragedy to occur again. Especially when Chai Ling was the target that Li Taisui so clearly wanted to kill. Which sister is willing to ingest this bottle of the wine, Jade Lake Moon Dew? Hua Wanyue remembered something. Her wrist flipped over, revealing a bottle of wine. The wine inside was colorless and odorless, pure as water, but it emitted a sort of magnificent light. Jade Lake Moon Dew. Rat Star Daylight Rat by Yutong had used all of her star energy to create this earth rank wine. This wine had a capability that would stir the jealousy of all star generals. It was able to instantly restore all of the star energy of a single star general, but each bottle required the little lowly to use 7 days of time to recover her own star energy. And now, we must discuss about a star general's star energy. Star energy was where a star general's battle strength was, whether it be a heaven-earth dark yellow or some ordinary fight, they all required the expenditure of star energy. If their star energy was depleted, a star general would be hard-pressed to continue. This was the one best way an earthly star could prevail over a heavenly star in battle. Star generals would sign star dual covenants for this reason, to exploit the sharing of magic energy as according to the contract. The stronger the star master's cultivation, the more abundant the star general's star energy. However, Su Xing was a bit different. He had contracted with too many star generals. On the contrary, because all of the star general's star energies were averaged, the star energy of Lin Yingmei and the other like her did not really increase too much at all. Although Su Xing's cultivation was greatly bolstered, this perhaps was the only thing he regretted. Of course, a star master's resonance could also supply their own star energy to the star general to aid in recovery. However, the star master was very vulnerable while in resonance. Star energy recovery was not very fast, and the majority of time in the star duels was spent in battle. A Star Master's sudden resonance could allow a Star General's star energy to increase explosively, thereby allowing their heaven, earth, dark, and yellow attacks to be displayed at an even more frightening level. The reason this needed to be mentioned was that even if Tang Tang was completely without any martial force, so much so that she could not even beat a rat, the earth rank wine she could brew was the unparalleled wine of Star Generals. Which sister wants to ingest it? Hua Wanyue asked. Right now, Su Xing's situation was critical. They stepped forward bravely to lend a hand. What a pity there was only one bottle of Jade Lake Moon Dew, which created a conflict. Hua Wanyue's bow and arrow were absolute. Her technique could not be defended against. Dong Junqing was a Five Tigers great general. She also had the Heaven Earth Dark Yellow. Against the Thunder Pond, she would be enormous help. Regardless, Yan Yizhen's boxing and body techniques were superb. Her 9 Yin 9 Yang Earth rank was even more formidable. She also had great skill in defending against Li Taisui. There was also Leisure Star Gongsun Huang, the number 1 in magic energy. Even that demon Qin would suffer under her Phoenix Execution Sky Break. Each of the 4 had their own unique qualities, each of them were partners any Star Master would pursue. Now, they united together for one single man. No wonder Liangshan continent hated Su Xing to the bone. Since Master has handed the Jade Lake Moon Dew to you, slave servants shall believe in Master. Yan Yizhen said directly. This general also agrees. Dong Junqing nodded. She saw that even Lu Xiao could only barely able to manage a stalemate. If she went, she perhaps would not be of any help. Hua Wanyue looked at them. She glanced at Gongsun Huang. That little girl in Phoenix Perch red cloud clothes floated in the air. Her body glowed with bright multicolored light. Her eyes were extremely indifferent, the meaning was that she also declined. Dong Junqing, I had better give it to you. My bow and arrow perhaps cannot injure the Thunder Pond. Milord and I have already gone through the double sevens. Although we do not have a contract, I can sense him as long as Milord is nearby. My star energy recovery is actually very fast. Hua Wanyue said. Sisters, any further discussion, and this palace fears it will be too late. Chai Ling's tone was anxious. This palace feels it should be you, Wanyue. Your archery is outstanding. With Su Xing and Lu Xiao, teamwork at both long and close range surely can suppress Taisui. Chai Ling said to herself that if she had known she would become a burden to Su Xing, she would have convinced Kong Ho to come over as well. However, even if Kong Ho came, she probably would not lift a finger against Li Taisui. All of the girls watched. The situation had already greatly changed. The immemorial thunder breath made Su Xing and Lu Xiao cut sorry figures. Hua Wanyue could decline no longer, I understand. Saying this, she drank the Jade Lake Moon Dew. The wine entered her throat and chilled her body. Her weak body brimmed with strength in the span of a breath. The woman gracefully drew her bow, curving it back beautifully. The arrow was loosed, the pinnacle of perfection. Liked it? The 10,000 Li God-killing arrow struck Li Taisui. The spiritual power surrounding the Thunder Pond's body became a wall, stopping the arrow, but the killing intent of Hua Wanyue's 10,000 Li God-killing arrow was honestly too powerful. Even though it did not run through the Thunder Pond, the arrow still staggered Li Taisui, stopping his attack. Li Taisui did not want to waste any time. Killing an enemy that could run was completely meaningless. Noble Star Chai Ling and Strength Star Lu Xiao were Li Taisui's targets. But these two were not so easy to handle. Chai Ling had the Earth Book's protection, and Lu Xiao's martial arts were exceptional, contending even against his true body. To kill them was not so simple. With all he had done, how was this so difficult? Li Taisui saw that Su Xing was interfering continuously, and anger was rising in his heart. That he would participate in the star duels and help the Liao Emperor was only because he wanted to return to that place in Star World known as Dream Cloud. He never cared for Liangshan continent, but this Liangshan continent was full of hindrances everywhere. This old man has not aged to the point you little brats can humiliate me as you please. Fury. Killing intent. And resolve. The Li Taisui who had lived his entire life simply had tasted too many human emotions today. The Thunder Pond's lightning twisted, wildly flashing about in the mini Tai spherical heaven form array. Boundless lightning manifested in empty space, devouring everything. Careful. Su Xing's hands formed a hand seal. The meditative mind lotus flower blossomed, and golden lotuses appeared in empty space. Heavenly dragons, Vajras, and Azuras appeared, and the glow of a colored glass kingdom unfurled. The meditative mind lotus flower possessed the way of Mahayana Buddhism. This, colored glass treasure sign, consumed practically all of Su Xing's magic energy. Colored glass, lotus flower, Saha tree. Chanting, incense, Buddhist stupa. It shook everyone. Thunderlight and the colored glass treasure sign endlessly clashed, but the supervoid peak Li Taisui's cultivation was too powerful. Su Xing was completely unable to contend. Li Taisui's whole body flickered with lightning. The Buddhist kingdom rocked. The colored glass shattered, the lotus flower wilted, the saha disintegrated, the chanting stopped, the incense vanished, and the stupa toppled. Su Xing vomited blood. All of his meridians bore the attack and were damaged. When Li Taisui saw that Su Xing was wide open, showing an enormous opening, he flashed over without any hesitation, appearing above Su Xing. The old man ferociously pounced down, turning his body into a pond to swallow and destroy Su Xing. Although the noble star and strength star were very enticing, but for a chance to kill the purple thunder monster, Taisui could hardly resist this temptation. The Buddha fed his own flesh to a hawk. Your servant is not capable of such a feat. Su Xing contrarily smiled under this difficult situation. Who was he kidding? The Thunder Pond chomped down, and there was no one able to stop him. Wrong. There was someone who could. A rainbow arrow shot through Su Xing's chest. This rainbow exploded, immediately forcing the Thunder Pond back. Its terrifying bite was completely unable to face this light. Sun-piercing heavenly rainbow. Hua Wanhua panted. She and Su Xing shared their 5 senses. When she realized he wanted to draw Li Taisui into a trap, she immediately charged the sun-piercing heavenly rainbow and finally caught up. She suddenly somewhat understood why this bottle of Jade Lake Moon Dew was given to her. Die. Su Xing sneered. What? A black shadow flew over. The Ghost Cavalry King once again sneak attacked, slashing with outstanding speed. The black saber chi of Ghost's God's Bane crackled, and the Thunder Pond shouted. A thunderlight blasted the Ghost Cavalry King away. The Supreme Ghost body had nearly been destroyed. This time, the Ghost Cavalry King could not get up. A petty trick. Li Taisui sneered. Aren't you getting the wrong idea? Su Xing endured the intense pain throughout his whole body and winked. Li Taisui was stunned. His back chilled. A beam of light came from behind him. When he glanced back, it was surprisingly a golden qilin. This qilin emitted a powerful divine beast's presence. Even the Dream Cloud Thunder Pond was endlessly reverent, not just at this kind of Galaxy Dragon Mount character, but rather, that his was a Star World holy beast in both name and reality. Upon closer inspection, it really was not an actual qilin descending into the world. Rather, it was Strength Star Jade Qilin Lu Junqiai raising her golden qilin lance and rushing over. The girl's eyes released golden light, and her powerful aura made her look like a true qilin. Fear. In 1,000 years, this was the first time Li Taisui felt fear. The Thunder Pond bellowed, its feather and scaled hardened, releasing spiritual power. Lu Xiao shouted. Her legs kicked, and with a bang, the earth split apart. Then, the girl leapt high up, her hands firmly gripping her lance. Golden light radiated, and the warrior's most powerful fighting spirit gathered upon it. That was power no one could possibly contend against. There was no doubt this was the Earth-rank technique of the #1 Martial General Star Maiden. Qilin descends into world. Thunder and lance clashed. Spiritual power and killing intent mixed together. The powerful force blew Su Xing and the others back. Lu Xiao was just like an enormous Qilin, and her lance was like an enormous claw gripping a pitiful bug. The Qilin coldly glared, looking down with arrogance and awe-inspiring might. Li Taisui screamed. The golden Qilin lance finally ran though the Dream Cloud Thunderpond's nearly invincible wall of spiritual power, and this blow pierced deep, straight to his heart. Such power! When Su Xing saw the Jade Qiling's earth technique, even if he was any more haughty he would feel tiny in front of her. This was the earth rank of the Strength Star, the strongest martial general. At this time, Yanizhan had already rushed to her master's side. The maid was somewhat distressed. It was a pity that Ansuan had fallen into the star nest first, otherwise, Su Xing should not have been cutting such a sorry figure. This lance attack lasted for a while. Lu Xiao's Qilin aura finally faded. All of the girls worriedly squirmed, unsure of whether or not the Strength Star's earth rank could dispatch Li Taisui. This old man was honestly too strong. Even Su Xing did not have certainty. All of their hopes were placed on Lu Xiao alone. Elder sister. Chai Ling's chest could not help but tighten. The Xinger in her bosom was choked out, its eyes rolling backwards into its head. Lu Xiao panted. Beads of sweat slid down her forehead. The Cloud Dream Thunder Pond had been run though without any resistance, showing no response. Is he dead? Chai Ling was delighted. Look out! Su Xing shouted. Lu Xiao was shocked. The Cloud Dream Thunder Pond opened its eyes. Lightning flashed, and Lu Xiao was flung backwards with a gasp. The Thunder Pond flashed, and before Lu Xiao landed, its tail swiped at her, leaving a gash deep enough to show bone on the girl's body. Even the golden Qilin lance had been knocked away. Thunder rolled, about to kill Lu Xiao. All of a sudden, scarlet light flashed by. Su Xing activated the chaotic tail escape, finally saving Lu Xiao the moment the lightning was about to consume her. Lu Xiao. Su Xing saw that Lu Xiao had sustained heavy injury and was extremely concerned. The other girls were also endlessly astonished. The Thunder Pond pounced along, its thunder escape abnormally fast. However, a 10,000 Li god-killing arrow shot into the Thunder Pond, knocking Li Taisui aside. Only then did the suffocating atmosphere finally dispel. What a formidable beast! Lu Xiao's whole body shuddered, not because of fear, but because Li Taisui's thunder magic was too strong. The leftover magic energy was still jolting Lu Xiao's body. If it was not for Su Xing's rescue just now, the Strength Star would have already starfall now. Even the Strength Star's earth rank is unable to kill him. Chai Ling could not believe this. Li Taisui hovered in the air. Compared to his initial unfathomable calm, the current Li Taisui actually was already very haggard. The ancient thunder over Thunder Pond's whole body was incomparably weak. Lu Xiao's lance had given Taisui heavy injury. If it was any other demon beast of Liangshan continent, it would undoubtedly have died, but the Dream Cloud Thunder Pond fortunately came from Star World. Even the pilgrims' every step felt unbearable. Little White was already unable to continue and had been frozen into the star nest. Xiao. The other was a long-haired girl, dressed in snow-white satin. The wind blew past her short skirt, revealing snow-white thighs, but compared to Wu Xiao's shivering, the girl was actually very tranquil. Lin Yingmei's hand gripped the Arctic Star Serpent spear to withstand the cold and wind. She was much more adapted compared to Xiao. I am all right. Your humble servant can still bear this much. Wu Xiao took a deep breath and once again strode forward. Lin Yingmei's hand drew Wu Xiao into her embrace. The girl's chest was very warm. Yingmei? Wu Xiao raised her head to see Yingmei's warm gaze. Her heart melted and forgot about the cold. The panther head untied her own cloak and wrapped it around Xiao. Although this cloak was not an astral treasure, because it had been with Lin Yingmei for so long, it was very capable of warding off the cold. Yingmei, you need this more than I do. Lord Husband's 10,000-year black ice will still need you in the end. Wu Xiao clearly knew this point. Young master needs the both of us. Lin Yingmei's smile was warm and bright, like a spring breeze. Wu Xiao's heart filled with warmth. The pilgrim smiled and nevertheless wrapped herself in the cloak. In the cold wind, with each step the girls took, the temperature of their footprints melted the ice and snow. 2. Not the actual one, the representation this attack summoned. Right arrow curving left 4. Wu Xiao's apparently. You're tuning into the Blissful Bookshelf YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.